to me, I wanna hear say it. Tell me where you be the death that make us run on the street. You wanna get a piece of me? Dirty lie with a secret to match, she gonna keep it. Now she squads, screaming murder, bloody head, she better think quick. Running out of cheap chicks, running out of lips, and trying to take a bite out of me, little devil, kiss, kiss. Gunshots, French tips, sex, love, a mystery, call up, and cause she's sex again, she's feeling she would death a kid. Heartbreak a man, need a blind for the mind. She Medusa with a stone face, telling me that I might keep both. And she's schooling, she says she wants to hold me, but I call her on my neck, cause she really wants to own me. Puppies was like murder, she's a killer, and I put her through my best to try to get away, but I don't wanna hurt her. Then she puts me to the ground and kicks me while I'm down. Smile, slide down on me, said let's go another round, cause I was sent it with the devil, but a devil's never said I want to make a slave out of me, a psychosocial vessel. I don't want another one trick pony. She's got a hidden trick up her sleeve. Her rabies, kisses, poison. Walked outside on my knees. I don't wanna be a victim of a murder. She sinks her teeth into me. This woman's gonna set me on fire with lipstick and gasoline. Banging on the walls, attacking conversations, started tongues running on our bodies. Our forbidden fruit is rotting. Lust, intoxication, physical infatuation, losing our religion, getting off on suffocation. Hearts are beating, heavy breathing, slowly sense of steady guns pointing at each other. Now it's really getting messy. Fiction, cosmos, static communication, acrobatic, serotonin, stop flowing. Now we're both acting sporadic. Try to lie, says I'm wrong, gaslighting, silver song. She convinced me I'm the perfect match by saying I'm the bomb. Then she lets me blow it up right before she takes me down. Smile, slide down on me, said let's go another round. I don't want another one trick pony. She's got a hidden trick up her sleeve.
Wow, I was not expecting the abrupt end over there. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Glick's House of Music. You guys know me. I am Glick. Hopefully you're having a good week so far. Hopefully you're staying warm because it's not nice here. It sucks. Anywho, if you're not already, go ahead and check out the rest of the network. We are literally everywhere. Literally. Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Shows live Monday through Sunday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And don't forget, you can listen to us anytime, any place, wherever you listen to podcasts at, all at the Nonsensical Network. Or you can simply go to bio.link/Nonsensical Network. All them links are there. You know the drill. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. If you'd be so kind, we'd greatly appreciate that. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you know what we do. And while you're there at BioLink, make sure you check out Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. You can get yourself a hoodie just like this, or like the network hoodie you've seen me wear before, or any of the nonsensical swag, or you can get your own personalized stuff. Give her a follow on Facebook and Instagram, and Nikki will get you taken care of. Just shoot her a message and let her know what you want. But enough about me and enough about us. We're here for these guys from the land. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, that's Cleveland, Ohio. home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Got Kissing Lilith in the house tonight. Alternative heavy metal band. I'm gonna ask those guys about this. We got Gavin in the building, and we have Cody live from his cage where Gavin keeps him.
Yes. He rubs the lotion on his skin.
The light so I don't forget what it looks like.
Yeah. What up? How you guys doing, man? You surviving the cold up there?
It's unbelievably cold right now. I think it was like 6 degrees the other day. And wind chill takes it to the negative, so I've just been doing everything I can to stay inside. But unfortunately, we got to go out to run errands and get shit done throughout the day. But doing our best to stay warm.
Unfortunately,
cold. This is nothing new for me, man. I'm in shorts right now.
Cody's a maniac. For those who don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little unhinged.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be like that, but I've gotten old, and things start to happen to your body when you get old, and you hit your 40s, and your body starts to reject you. So now it's like, no, you know, when it gets cold like this, my body starts to hurt, my hands are hurting. I just try to stay inside. Unfortunately, for my 9 to 5 job that I have, I do have to go out and venture into the wilderness from time to time, and I'm not a fan of it. So, but gentlemen, first and foremost, I do want to thank you guys for coming up here tonight, man. I do greatly appreciate it, and you guys were super stoked and more than excited. So that got me excited.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having us, man. Like I said earlier, you're the first person to reach out to invite us to do a live podcast interview, which is really exciting for us. We've done a couple of different interviews before, some like written through email for blogs, and then one we did the other week where it was pre-recorded. But so to do a live interview is awesome, and then to be invited to do it is just absolutely awesome. You know, we're excited about all the steps of this project, and this is one of hopefully many. So thanks for having us.
Absolutely. How long have you guys been together? You know, when did you guys start this project, I guess?
Maybe not even a year.
Yeah, definitely not a year. No. I think we started writing probably around like March of last year.
Yeah,
we played with the idea of writing together and doing stuff together, but we didn't really start the ball rolling until probably mid-April. And then we didn't release Lipstick and Gasoline until what? May, June?
I think it was June.
June, yeah. June is when we like released our first official song and announced ourselves as an official band. It was in June. So about half a year, a little longer than half a year, we've been doing this now.
So you guys are you guys new to the music world? I know. I think Gavin. I think I've seen you post a few things where there's been some issues with. You were either told you were too young, too inexperienced, didn't have the chops to make it in the or to be a part of a band or make it in the industry.
Yeah, so either you did your research or you've known me for a while now.
I like to consider myself a bit of a professional around here. I do some internet creeping on my guests, so you could say.
Good. I like that. I'm always flattered when someone stalks me. Well, not really. I mean, please don't do that. Don't stalk me.
I don't know how I feel about being called a stalker, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day.
It's easy, man. Yes. Cody, if you want to go first real quick, and then I'll go on my little spiel on experience.
Sure. I mean, whatever you want to know, I'm an open book about it. I've been playing in bands since I was 13. I toured when I was like 18 to 21 with metal bands, just a bunch of different ones. We used to hop in the van and we toured all over the East Coast and just screwed around. Went to school for music, worked at a recording studio for a while. Played festivals my whole, music career. So I've been around for quite some time as a session guy, and had a relatively successful rock band prior to meeting Gavin. So that was kind of our catalyst into creating Kissing Lilith. Is my old band that was doing relatively well at the time. We decided that we were going to hold auditions for a new vocalist. And through all the auditions that we had, Gavin showed up, and he was my pick immediately. Like before he even got on the mic, I'm just looking at him. I'm like, okay, he's pretty much got everything that I want. He's got a really good personality. He's very realistic with his expectations with music. He was very open to talking about operating the band in a business sense, as opposed to just being a bunch of guys screwing around and hopping in a van and having no plan. And with that, when we did the audition for him, I was blown away by his energy and his presence, and his voice was very strong. So I told the band, like, this is the guy. I mean, to me, there was no reason why he did not get the part, but ultimately it was a majority rule, and the band went with another vocalist. So afterwards, I reached out to Gavin and I said, I don't care what they said. They are missing on a wonderful opportunity to work with who I think has just unlimited star power. So that was roughly November of 2023 when we finished up those auditions. And then in January, I believe we announced who the new vocalist was going to be. And around that time, that's when I reached out to Gavin and I told him, listen, I've got a ton of songs. I have roughly about an album's worth of material, It just needs to be recorded and engineered, and then we can start hashing this out. We probably would have had a lot of music put out prior to June and a lot more in between had I not been playing as many festivals as I was with the other band. I mean, I was packed. So Kissing Lilith kind of was put to the back burner, but as I was playing all these shows, the entire time I'm playing this, all I could think is, this isn't the way that I want to operate a band. This is not the way I want to approach releasing music. And ultimately, I am not happy with this project. So I left shortly after Gavin and I went to the studio and recorded More Than Worth It. I think it was about 2 weeks after that, I contacted the band and said, I have to pursue Kissing Lilith. This is where all my attention needs to go right now. This is too great of an opportunity to just have it be on the back burner. So that was, funny enough, November of this last year. So in the year span of me knowing Gavin, it has evolved from an audition all the way up to this second single release. And the momentum that we have created is just, it's insane. I would have never imagined we would have been able to have this kind of a reach off of 2 songs under our belt.
I was going to say, it just recently, just since I've been talking to you guys, it's like, yeah, I know we were talking just the other day, you know, the numbers don't lie. I mean, they're starting to pop off for you guys. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
it's been insane, you know. And then, you know, I mean, from my perspective too, being in music, when I was 17 is when I joined my first band, Dying Desolation, as the lead vocalist and the bassist. And it was 2 other kids from high school, a couple grades below me. And eventually we found a bassist, so I was just the front man, which was amazing. I got to run around on stage. You know, I was hanging upside down from the ceiling while singing. I was climbing on stuff, getting into the crowd and everything. And they eventually they fired me because they said that my voice wasn't what they wanted anymore for a sound. They wanted to find someone who was a better fit. And that was a pretty crushing blow to my ego and my self-confidence just as a musician in general. And I did that band for 3 years, and probably like 3 to 6 months after that happened, maybe somewhere around there, I was pursued, and I was taken on by Damo, the lead singer of the band Ghost Static. He wanted me to be a backup vocalist and possible guitarist for the band. And then eventually I came in as backup vocals and the bassist, and I did that for 3 years. And, you know, I really poured a whole lot into that. It was mostly his project, and we were like hired hands, even though we were referred to as like core members. Mm-hmm. And as I got more involved with it, I could tell that there started to become like a riff between us. And eventually he fired me because he said, right before we were about to do Incarceration, he fired me saying that I was too young and too inexperienced to go to the next level with them. And that just, again, it crushed me to be fired from 2 bands that I had put so much time and energy into and passion into. And the reason being told that I just wasn't good enough, essentially. And so to audition for Ozolith, I almost didn't do it. I was thinking about moving to Florida at the time. I was seeing a woman who lived down there, and I was literally on vacation, seeing if that was going to work out or not. I was in Florida, and I saw the Facebook ad that Cody posted saying, hey, we're looking for a singer. I said, all right, I'll check him out. I'll see what happens. And I messaged him, and I got the audition, and I went in, and I was like, you know what? This is really fun. I kind of want to take this into like a Motley Crue kind of style, like sexy, like hair rock, like, just sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of thing. And I had a lot of fun with that. And we pursued that a little bit when Cody and I first got together trying to figure out how to write. But that ultimately isn't who I am. And I think that was in the audition, just me sort of having fun and just kind of blowing off steam and trying to play a different character. But then when Cody reached out to me saying that he wanted to work with me after I knew that I didn't get the part, that was just a very humbling experience and kind of gave me a lot of self-confidence, especially as I got to learn more about Cody. And, you know, he is a jazz major in college. He speaks fluent music theory. He does have all this experience touring. So for him to say that I did have what he was looking for really meant the world to me. And I honestly couldn't believe it, so I kind of brushed it off as, oh yeah, like that's cool. Yeah, we'll do something, kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's like when you meet another band, like, oh, we should collab and do a song together, and you're like, yeah, totally, and then you never hear from them again. That's what I thought it was gonna be like, and then next thing I know, the dude sends me like 10 to 12 tracks out of nowhere. Just sends me all these. He goes, yeah, listen through these, tell me what you like, and let's figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
And even now, like I'm starting to like shake a little, just get my adrenaline pumping, just because this whole thing has been so unbelievable. Because I can remember that exact moment when I'm sitting. I even have like I was in between homes at the time. I was living with family friends, and I remember being in that spare bedroom and seeing that message and just a shot of adrenaline shooting through me. And I was like, all right. And I started writing, and we started figuring out what our sound was going to be. We had 3 different songs that were very different sounds, and I said, let's focus on Lipstick and Gasoline. That's what resonates the most with me. That's what I really want to put out there first. And that kind of set the tone for what the music was going to be for us.
Nice. Excuse me. It's a kick-ass song, man. I like to. I'm a music whore. At the end of the day, I'm just a big old slut for music. I don't have like one specific genre that I listen to. I mean, I kind of gravitate more towards like country and rock or whatever, but I listen to it all. And a lot of times there, I might not be the biggest fan of like EDM, but there's a couple artists out there that I do like, and a lot of times, and I say this like every show, I should just get a soundbite of me saying it but I mindlessly scroll Instagram. And our algorithm, like we all do social media. I hate TikTok first and foremost. So, I like Instagram Reels and my algorithm is a lot of musicians. So I mindlessly scroll and it was the new song you guys got coming out, or that just came out. Sorry, more than worth it. And I heard your voice. And I was like, what the hell? And it was one of those things I had to scroll back and find it. And at first it was like the face and the voice don't match.
I do a lot of voices, man. I'm a man of many different tones and voices.
But dude, you got a killer voice, man.
Thank you.
And it's powerful as hell. And that's something else that I like. I like that raw kind of rock, gritty sound, and you guys definitely have that. That's got to be an ego boost for you, though. Like you said, you felt the adrenaline. You go and try out for a band at Cody's there, and you don't make it, but then Cody hits you up on the backside, and he's like, "Hey, man, you got something."
Yeah. Well, to me, so it wasn't even so much as an ego boost as it was this way to describe it. It's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like just throwing darts in the dark and not even hearing that I hit the bullseye, but just hearing that I hit the target at all. That's really what it was. Just that relief of, all right, I can do this. Okay, it is possible. Okay, now I can figure out how to shape and how to maneuver and where to adjust from here. It was like it was the relief of, I mean, to me, it felt like the relief of financial stability, of being able to not have to worry about paying my bills that month. That's how much it really did mean to me, because that's how much music means to me. It really is something that I crave, I thrive on, I need to have in my life, the same as food, water, shelter.
Yeah, it's kind of like an addiction,
Yeah.
Johnny asked, do you guys like to play with others or play solo? Always leave the chatter's box open for questions.
It would just depend. I mean, we love the idea of playing with like the full band. Obviously, like we're going to start holding auditions once we release the next couple of songs, and I love collaborating with songwriters that have the same vision. I find when there are too many members that all want different things, it doesn't mold well, and then it ends up being counterproductive. So I love playing in bands. I've been playing in bands since, like I said, since I was 13. Gavin's been playing in bands for forever. It's a different kind of feeling when you have more people to collaborate with and then create a sound that's very unique. Now, having said that, I guess it would also come down to Like if you mean like other guitar players, then no. I do not play well with other guitar players at all.
I am the only guitar player. There can be only one.
Ideally, yes, and that's not an ego thing. It's more of a. I've been in bands with multiple guitar players before, and it never works because I'll have an idea.
Yeah, you can have an ego, man. It's okay.
No.
You're talking to a guy who had custom-made championship belts made and calls himself the champ, so it's okay.
No, I don't do the ego thing. I'm very objective on just everything that I do, including the music. It's just I don't work well with other guitar players. We butt heads too often when it comes to creative things. I like to look at things from a songwriting perspective, and everything serves the song. A lot of guitar players I've played with in the past, a lot of it is self-serving. They're like, no, we need to have a bunch of riffs and it's got to be busy and it's got to have a million notes. And I always combat that and say, but the song doesn't need that. The vocals will carry the melody. The guitar needs to be the accompaniment. And if we can put some lines in there for like vocal leading, that's incredible. That's a great. But when you listen to all of, the greatest songs ever written, the song and the music, it's all written around that vocal melody. That is what people are listening to. So guitar players and we butt heads, which is the funniest thing. Like as a guitar player, never. I will always say, let's just have one guitar player and we'll worry about the rest later.
Yeah. No, I mean,
yeah. For me, I would love to have some other vocalists like. So that's one thing. If there's ever like an artist that we want to have featured on our stuff, we will definitely make that clear. We'll reach out to you, or if you're interested in being featured on and we think that it works and that you fit with us and we fit with you, absolutely. And then I'm always down to find other artists similar to us, or maybe if like a different genre but around like the same level as us doing what we're doing, similar interests, for me to jump on a track with them. Like I'm always looking to collab with other artists too. And that's not even just with music. We had a tattoo artist that from another state. I can't remember which state that he's in, but we're gonna make a big post about it soon. He spent weeks hand drawing this insane Lilith poster for us. Nice. So badass. Oh my God, it looks amazing. We're trying to figure out how to get into like a VPN or something like that so we can do it for like shirts or banners or something like that. Just figure out what we're going to do with it. It's so unbelievable. We did it by hand. And then we have other photographer friends that we work with for photo shoots and stuff like that. So we're always trying to find new people that are artists, not even just musicians, to work with, because we really are trying to build a community with this band. That's one of the things that I would say that I'm proudest of. And I'm actually grateful that Cody was working with his other band for so long, because even though I was very hungry and anxious and excited to get things with this rolling, I spent that time studying music marketing and social media marketing and how to separate us from all the bands around us. And because of that, like we were able to get into a Spotify playlist, which took our numbers from 100 monthly listeners to 1,600 overnight. Insane. All of our social media has consistently about 1,000 followers. I think TikTok's at 13, Instagram's around a little over 900. I think Facebook is like 1,200. But we have people that engage too. Like we have our posts, they do get around like 30, 40 likes, and they do have 10 to 20 comments under them on average. Some of them have lower, some of them have higher. It all depends. But we're seeing consistent growth. And we're having people, especially right now with this song More Than Worth It, on the post, I was putting there, hey, reach out to us. If you just want to talk, reach out to us. If you feel like you're not enough, reach out to us. If you have a project that you're working on and you want us to post on our story about it, or if you want a question about it, or if you just need to vent about it, and people are doing that. Once a day, I probably have a new person reach out saying, hey, I love your music. Hey, I had a really hard time with this. Hey, this is my new passion right now. Where should I go? Who could I talk to about this? And it's almost overwhelming, even though it's only a couple people, emotionally. It's just so amazing that we're able to start building the foundation of this community.
Oh yeah. And all of us at some point have experienced rejection or defeat or whatever. If it's something that you're passionate about, that you want to do, we've all felt that. And to have you guys and actually be genuine, because you see a lot of whether it be TikToks or Reels or whatever, and it'll be an artist and it'll be like, are you looking for a music band that's still small enough to respond to every message and blah blah blah. And like some of these bands I've come across, I was like, man, I like their sound. They sound awesome. And they seem, and then I shoot them a message, hey, you know, the little icebreaker message I said, and you don't hear nothing back. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you just put yourself into the algorithm to get. And the other cool thing about your guys' growth is that, you know, you can have all the numbers in the world, but what it really boils down to is that engagement.
Yes.
You know, you could have 200 followers, but get 4 times the engagement of somebody with 2 million followers, because most of their followers could be bought or, you know, not organically gained or whatever. So that speaks volumes on your growth alone, is that you guys have the engagement there.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest things with that is just how you market. Like whenever I run an ad on something, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or whatever, you know, I run it for views. I don't run for follows. I don't run it for likes, because I want people to just see our stuff. And when they see it, I want them to determine on their own, okay, this is for me or this is not for me. And the ones who say it is for me, they will like, they will comment, they will follow, they will DM us. We will engage with them as they engage with us.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And that's nice. I mean, because I've always been that guy where it's like, feel free to hit us up anytime. You know, it might take me a day or two, but I'll get back to you as quick as I can, because you know, and you know, the busier you guys get and everything like that, you know, it happens. You don't mean to, but you know, it's like, hey, I will 9 times out of 10, if you see Nonsensical Network pop up on your screen on anything, it's me. You know, I'm the big social media guy here on the network. out of the 6 or 7 of us that's here. I'm the big one on our social medias. So that, you know, and that interaction that you guys have, that speaks volumes for who you guys are as well. And that's really cool. You know, it shows that appreciation and gratitude. I want to, you know, ask you guys, Cody, you know, you guys, this is your thing. This is your baby, you know.
Yep.
How does that feel compared to other projects you've been on? You know,
it's more fulfilling, mainly because it's music that I've wanted to write. And now I have the platform to be able to write it and people enjoy it. So the thing that's always held me back in bands is really it's one of 2 things. It's either the band is too focused on making music for musicians, which is cool and it's fulfilling in one sense, but nobody gets it and nobody's appreciating it or taking the time to listen to it, because it's just a bunch of musicians playing stuff for the sake of impressing other musicians.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I notice is that they don't take the business side of it seriously. So they never get the opportunity for the chance to market or to create a fan base. So Gavin has a strength that I will never have. He's far more charismatic than I am, and 2, he really knows how to get people engaged. He does. I mean, he absolutely does. Look at that beautiful face.
I couldn't tell. Right, that he was, right.
So
I had no idea.
He gives me the opportunity for my music to be heard by so many more people, which is the greatest thing for me, because as a musician, foremost, when you put all this time and energy into writing music and nobody can hear it, you sit down sometimes and you think to yourself, well, why am I really even doing it? And then, of course, you bounce back. You're like, well, I'm doing it because I love it, and I don't know what else I would do. But to be able to have people listen to songs that I write and then Gavin sings on, it's surreal, and people enjoy it. And now, of course, I'm a more behind-the-scenes type person. Like, I'm doing all the guitar and the bass work, and then I'm working with the drummer so we can work on the arrangement. And people don't worry too much about that. It really is about the vocals, because it's music, obviously. But without the accompaniment there, the vocals don't have a platform to stand on. So for me, it's the coolest thing when Gavin gets the engagement, because I get to sit back and be like, you know what? This kid gave me the opportunity for people to listen to me play guitar and they enjoy it. And there's no other feeling like that than when people genuinely enjoy the product that you've created.
100%. I mean, but who doesn't love a good sick ass guitar solo, man? You know, you gotta get your spotlight every once in a while too, Cody.
When it's tasteful. I used to be the person that would write solos just for the sake of the ego stroke. Like, I'm going to write the hardest solo ever. It's going to be fast. It's going to make people, it's going to blow their minds. And then you sit there and you play it, and then everyone in the audience is like,
Good job, buddy.
Good job, buddy. And then you sit there like, well, this is defeating. Like I just spent all this time writing this face-ripping solo, and then what I've seen from performing and touring is a lot of the times no one cares about that, but they care about the guy that has the most energy. So I changed up. So I'm like, okay, instead of dumping all of this time into writing a solo that has, you know, a bunch of 16th notes just going at 200 beats per minute. Nobody cares about that. It's like write something that makes them feel something and then put on a show, and then more people are going to be interested in that. And it shows time and time again.
Wally asked in the chat, who's your guys' biggest inspiration music-wise? Like, who are some of those bands or artists that you really look up to?
There's too many.
There are a lot.
I'll do three. Three is an easy one. Okay. Led Zeppelin, Tool. Oh God, third. I didn't think third was going to be that hard. Okay, but definitely Led Zeppelin and Tool, and then I'll say Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Great arena show.
2 out of 3 are good. 2 out of 3 are good.
2 out of 3 is fine. That's enough. That's fine.
For me, I would probably say, Korn. Yeah, Jonathan Davis.
It's tough.
It is. It's so tough because I go through so many phases. You know, for like the longest time I was listening to nothing but Linkin Park and Bullet for My Valentine, and then for the longest time I was listening to a lot of Eminem and Shakira, and then I was listening. Oh, yeah, love Shakira. And then
I'm not judging. I'm a fan myself. I am a fan myself.
Yeah. And then like, you know, lately it's been a lot of Ren and Watsky, and I mean, I just discovered Bloody Wood the other day because I was at work, and in my head I was listening to music, and all I was hearing was I was like, I want to hear a metal song with that, so I typed in Bollywood metal and was not disappointed. So awesome! Like there's just so much that I listen to. I think better than artists, just genres in general would be very like early 2000s new metal. 90s rap has been a big influence on how I sing and how I write, and then probably just like there's so many things. It's so hard to pick. My mind right now feels like a spider. My mind feels like a spider web made out of mozzarella cheese that is being split apart amongst my fingers. But I have 5 hands. That is easier to explain than answer your question right now.
No, I get that. I tell people sometimes my brain is like a bowl of spaghetti because it's all over. It's going 45 different directions at the same time. So I totally get that reference. Cody, you seem like you're more of this guy to lay back. I'm going to do my thing. I'm gonna let Gavin shine, and just obviously just from the social media, you could tell that the guy's got an energy that it's hard to match. You know,
it is.
I can only imagine
that's what makes him the front man, though. I mean, you need that. He's the David Lee Roth I always wanted.
I was just gonna say, is he like a David Lee Roth on stage? You know, or
if you watch videos of him from his previous bands, now we haven't actually played a show yet because it's just the two of us. We adopted this idea of preparation from a friend's band of ours called Kill Streak, and to me, they did everything right. They released single after single after single and built this authentic fan base. And they were able to build a big enough following where their first show was Incarceration over in Mansfield, Ohio.
Nice.
Now, will we be able to copy that in that large of scope? I don't know. Wouldn't that be incredible? Gavin says yes. Okay.
I don't see why. I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
He's the more optimistic. He's the more optimistic of the two of us. I'm a little jaded from over the years, but
I got some tricks up my sleeve.
He's got some tricks up his sleeve. But
Nice.
it was a great example to me of the thing that I've always been lacking in my bands, which is I've always been focused on play shows, play good shows, just play a ton of shows, and it'll pay off. And then in one aspect, it kind of did. It gave me all the experience and things I should know of the music industry. And how to actually perform on stage and what people enjoy in the audience versus what's going to have crickets chirping.
Yeah.
But they did everything right. They created this great following, and they prepared this amazing stage show. And their first show, I'm sitting in the audience, and I'm just like, oh shoot, okay, well, they did it right. They absolutely did it right. So that's kind of the method that we've been going. Once we get to like single number 5 and we hold those auditions, we're going to be rather particular about who we let into the fold, because they've got to be 2 things. One, they've got to be on board with the message of the band, which is, positivity, of course. So it's a very enriching and positive band. 2, the image, which is something that I think a lot of bands, they lack before they break through to that, festival level for bands, is they're not marketing themselves as a unit. And then 3, of course, they have to have the chops. That's the one thing that the musician in me will not sacrifice, is that everybody's got to be absolute top notch. So when we go into the studio, it's like, okay, we're here. We've got 8 hours. I need everybody to be on top of it. I need everybody to know how to, play to a click track super tight. Everybody's got to be proficient in, notation of whatever their instrument is. And then once that all comes together, I think that this will be a pretty unstoppable unit. And I've been in enough bands to know when, the right stuff is there. So this is a very exciting time to be in a band.
And that format of it seems to be the thing. A lot of the artists that I've talked to here on this show, that seems to be the way to go, man. It seems a lot of artists they're not so much hyper focused on albums as much as let me put out a 5 or 6 singles and get them on the social media, get them out there for people to hear, and then I'll take a break and then I'll promote those. And while I'm doing that, I'll either A, write a few more songs, or B, maybe start working on an album. And that seems to be the new formula, with the way that, unfortunately, social media is a necessary evil these days. It's not like it used to be where you go out and put flyers up all over the place and you do play all the local bars you possibly can get. You're in the middle of Podunk, Ohio at some hole in the wall bar playing your music, trying to get, ears and eyes on what you're doing. The social media has become a necessary evil these days, whether you like it or not. But that seems to be the format for musicians now, and it seems to be working.
It's working really well, and it's not only is it it's working for the musicians, but for the consumer as well. I think it's sustainable for everybody, because now we don't have to save up the content, the emotional energy, the creative energy, the finances to do an entire EP or a full album, which gets very costly very quickly. Now, instead, we could take a fraction of those funds and we can focus them on one single at a time, release it, where we can do merch drop for that single, we can do cover for that single, we can do an acoustic cover for that single now, which it will get paid attention to. We can make a whole bunch of content for that single. We can really push it so it gets the love that it deserves. We're not Eminem, we're not Taylor Swift, we're not these people who can just release something overnight and it gets millions and millions of streams in the first hour. It takes time for people have to see us 7 to 11 times before they have a decision of, oh yeah, this is someone I want to follow. And that's why we make sure we post every day or every other day at the very least, so that way people are seeing us. That's why when I am doing the advertising, I'm doing the ads for views, so that way it's putting us in front of people as many times as it can. Not even just as many people as possible, but as many times as we can, so they get familiar with us. Because the first time you hear something, especially something alternative, whether it's metal or hip hop or rap or country, anything that isn't what you're used to hearing, people are going to have mixed emotions on it the first time. And I'm not going to sit here and say that we're a completely original band. There's no other band that sounds like. There's plenty of bands that sound like us. Yeah. But we have our own sound, and we're developing our own sound, and that's what will differentiate us from our inspirations and from the bands around us. So people need to hear that multiple times, so that way they can get familiar with it, so they can determine, yes, I like this, or no, I don't like this. I've had probably at least a dozen people now comment on posts of ours. Okay, fine, I'll follow. just because they've seen it, they've heard it so much, they're like, damn it, it's stuck in my head. I do actually enjoy this. I have to admit it. And that's
they're beating them into submission, man.
Yeah.
It's like Stockholm syndrome. They're like, fine, we'll follow. We're here.
Yeah. And then they stick
Just
around.
make
They're
it
like, you know what, this
stop.
was kind of cool.
Yeah, they're not so bad. I love that. I love that when you doing this podcasting thing. I love when people will message me and they're like, well, we used to hate listening to your show. And I'm like, well, thanks for listening. And regardless, thanks for listening. They're like, well, now we love you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm like, cool. So we must have done something right if we turned you around. I love those messages, especially when it's like, I can't stand you guys. I don't even listen. Okay. But you guys were talking the other night and you said this, and I gotta agree with Jeff. And I'm like, Jeff's my co-host, co-creator here. And I said, first, nobody ever agrees with Jeff. Jeff's an idiot. But thanks for listening, because especially since you said in the same message you don't listen to us, but then you wanted to talk. I love that, because whether you like us or not, man, you're listening.
I think that's the start of any genuine friendship and relationship, whether it's just two guys hanging out at the bar, or if it is like a band and a friend, or a band and a fan kind of thing, or a podcast and a listener. That honesty of, I really didn't like this, but I respect this and I enjoyed this. It's like, all right, because now you have some kind of common ground, and I think it adds humanity to each other. The last thing that Cody and I want is to be put on a pedestal. The last thing that he and I want is to be like worshipped or seen as like, oh, the rock stars. It's like, no, we're here to connect with people. We're here to express ourselves. We're here to have a great time and make memories and create art.
I don't know if I could ever be on a pedestal, dude. I have a 7-year-old running around that humbles me every day. It's just, it is what it is. But
I'd like to say it gets better, bro. But they're gonna. That 7-year-old. I got three kids, and anytime I start to get a little bit of a confidence boost, they're like, "Hey, Dad, what?" Get back down. Not today.
Exactly, and that's another thing. That's the joy of having that in your life is nothing ever goes to your head anymore, because at the end of the day, you're just a person that has to take out the trash. And Dad, look at me. I put shoe marks on the wall. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
That's great. But it's for me, it's very important to stay grounded, because when I was younger, I was a bit more of a little fuckhead. I did let it get to me, because when you're 18 years old and you're touring, you think that you're the greatest thing that ever came out of Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you come home after a tour and you have no money in your pocket, it makes you think like, why, like I'm absolutely nothing. Why am I letting any of this get to my head? At the end of the day, it's like, I don't even have the room to have bragging rights. I still have to come home and have a day job after touring.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? Why am I acting like I'm so much better than everybody else, when at the end of the day, it's like, cool, I got an awesome opportunity, but I have to come home and work on stages when I get home. Mm-hmm. It's part of the journey and growing and humbling yourself and realizing that it really is just music. And when you make it anything more than that, I feel like you're taking away from what being an artist should be in the first place, which is just being creative. And for me, music is the greatest opportunity to just let all of my creative energy out into one medium. But it's amazing that people listen to it, but I'm just a guy with a guitar, and that's all it's ever going to be. That's all it ever was.
It's a good thing none of the guys from the network are watching this right now, because they'd call me out on my bullshit. I'm actually a pretty humble guy, but I certain times during the week, I on different shows, I come across like a egomaniac from time to time. And the guys here on the network, they like to keep me in check, and will try to keep me in check and keep me in line. I've oftentimes compared myself to a god. And called them mere peasants below my feet. But
there you go. As long as you're not an angry god, that's all that matters.
No. I'm a happy god.
Okay.
I've made jokes about it too. The other day, my roommate was parked next to me, and my girlfriend, my fiance, was parked right behind me, and I maneuvered my shitty little Scion in between them. She went inside to go get her keys to move her car, because I didn't think I could make it. I did make it, and she looks at me. And she kind of puts her hands in the air. I roll down the window. I go, I'm the fucking best.
Yeah. It's I think sometimes we got to have those moments where we're just like, fuck yeah, man. I'm the man. Fuck everybody. You know, like, I got this shit, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's always like the dumbest things too. Like I'll speed clean the house in like 30 seconds. I'll look around and I'm smelling the Febreze. Like, my dick is so big. Yeah, organization.
There you go, Gavin. We know whatever works for you. It was good. Oh, it's not. Oh, there you go. There you go. Wow.
Yeah, I wrote out the window. I was all like, I'm a god.
I'm a god.
Yeah. You see how
I can see the whole picture happening too, both of you. I can just visualize it.
I can see it too, because Gavin, I think you and I have a lot in common with our personalities. We're both big personalities. We're both very energetic. I do have to apologize. Last week, everybody in my house had the ick, and I was like, yeah, I made it out alive. I didn't catch it. And then yesterday, I started feeling a little under the weather, and today it's even more so. But I know what my fiance goes through with me, my random outbursts of just unnecessary, nonsensical crap, whatever it may be. You know, like we moved the furniture around in the bedroom, and I've got some older dressers that are solid wood, and they're not easy to move. And she was like, yeah, we'll just take the drawers out. And I'm like, oh, I'm a man, I'll just leave them. And I was feeling real good about myself after I moved everything by myself. And then I walked into the kitchen and I went to pick something up, and I went, oh shit, there's reality. But I had to come back in the room and be like, yeah, you see what I did? You like that? I'm a man. You got a man, woman. You know?
You're slowly crying on the inside as you realize that your body's deteriorating right in front of you.
Yeah, just
you got a little meta on me. That's too meta for me, Gavin.
It's too meta. That's right. I'll be there very soon, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. No, you won't.
It's fun to just have a good time and joke around with it. You know, like I said, I tease the guys all the time and joke around about it. But the guys know. I'm very humble. I'm very grateful for opportunities that we've gotten and like this show in itself. I mean, I never thought that I'd be sitting here doing interviews with as many musicians as I have and having fun and actually forming friendships with them, genuine friendships with artists and whatnot. I love it. And that in itself is very humbling, you know, just to be like, wow, I did that.
Yeah. Well, I think the music community as a whole has gotten has become more of just that, a community in the last 10 years or so. You know, I remember when I first started out playing, when I was 17, it felt like every show that we went to was a competition. It felt like every band was sizing each other up. It felt like someone was pissed at somebody for sleeping with somebody else. It felt like everybody was keeping secrets on how to get successful, even though they were all in the same fucking place every week. Like that, there was no movement really happening. But now that the younger generations, these younger bands are starting to take the stage, it seems like they're a lot more open to, hey, let's do a song together. Hey, how did you promote that video? I saw it did really well. Hey, where did you go to record? Hey, what'd you do this and that? And just in general, it's becoming more of a community that's very uplifting rather than a gimme, gimme, gimme kind of situation that it used to be.
No, that is really cool. That's something that I've noticed. You know, I've had artists on here from like Nashville. You know, Nashville's got a huge music scene. Obviously, that's what Nashville is. And that was one of the things I asked. I said, you know, as a fan on the outside looking in, you hear all the horror stories. You know, somebody would run their grandma over with a bus to get ahead of, you know, type deal. And they're like, no, actually, surprisingly, the community is very strong. And it doesn't seem to matter if you're from, you know, Nashville, where that's music, you know, down there, or if you're from small town. I'm from Central Ohio. I'm down by Columbus. I'm in a little town, a little east of Columbus, and even our music scene here, man, all the bands know each other for the most part. They're all friends. They all help each other out. You know, they're like, whether it's playing in one of the bars, hey man, I just played at this bar last weekend, had a good time. You guys should try to get in there, type deal. You know, or going in and telling the owners like, hey, you know, my buddy's in a band, they're really good, you guys should hit them up, type deal. I love that for music. Being a music fan, I love that there's an actual community nowadays, and it's not. I'm sure that that cutthroatness is still there to some degree,
Oh yeah.
but it's not as out in the open as it used to be. You know,
I don't think it's necessarily the cutthroatness. I think it's more now we have the means of production in our hands. So why be extremely competitive with one another? We're the ones that are doing it ourselves. Back in the day when it used to be the only way that we were going to get promoted is if we had a label backing us or if we had like a management company. That seemed to be a little more cutthroat. Like when I first started before social media really blew up, everybody was just at each other because it seemed like there was less room at the table to eat. Now that we have all the social media, it's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, if they're doing well, that doesn't mean that I can't do well either. And I think that's more of a cultural shift in general. Like when you talk to everybody on social media platforms as a whole, and just in United States culture as a whole as well, it seems like everybody's more community driven as of the last 10 years than they were previously, at least from my experiences. I can only ever speak for myself, but the only negative experiences I've ever had with music in general was when I first started, when he had all these old guys coming in and it had to be the old 80s way. And I never understood that. And that to me was always so toxic and outdated. And then you see what a lot of those bands are doing. And I'm not trying to be vindictive, but you see a lot of the bands that were throwing shade back in the day, and now they're doing absolutely nothing. And then they're pissed off when some of the new guys are coming out absolutely killing it using modern techniques. And all I can think is, I'm like, you're just a dick, dude. Like you were a dick, you're a dick now. But now you have so much hate because all these new guys are coming up and killing it. So
well, that's one thing I always try to keep in mind. It's that, you know, not everybody will remember someone being kind. You know, that's just how it is. Not everybody will remember somebody being kind. Everyone will remember who is a dick.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah. That's just how it is. You know,
that's just life in general.
Like we're just programmed to remember negative experiences more than positive experiences. Yeah, because that's survival. You know, if something's negative, we don't want to be around it. That's against our survival instincts. So if somebody's an asshole, we're going to remember them being an asshole because we want to avoid them, just like instinctually.
Right. But no, I would say as of recently, though, like the bands that Gavin and I have circled around with and all of our friends that are just like top tier performers, they're all fantastic. One of my close friends, Paul Fessler, who's a phenomenal guitar player, and you should check him out and everything that Paul does, including his band Seldom Fade. But Paul, like me, was a session player. Now he's about to play Incarceration just as a session player. But that guy changed the game in Northeast Ohio metal. He really did. Oh, yeah. He's just the
what's his name? Is he on social?
Paul Fessler. I think it's just Paul Fessler Music.
Paulfessler. One of the nicest human beings I ever met. So actually, Paul's been in my life since my first concert. My first concert with Dying Desolation at the Agora in the ballroom opening for Texas Hippie Coalition. Paul was there and immediately approached me when he saw us loading and he approached me. Asked me what band I was in, asked me what I did, gave me some pointers, some tips for being on stage for the first time. And he was there the first and the second show that we played and has just been nothing but supportive. And he told me too, I wasn't perfect. And I knew very well I wasn't perfect. I was 17, singing first time in front of a sold out crowd, which is insane. But he's been nothing but a honest and positive form of critique throughout my entire music career. It's amazing. I feel like he's been that for everybody. I messaged him earlier today when I saw that he got on Incarceration, and I sent him a voice message saying hey dude, you deserve this. Out of everybody that I know in the music community, you definitely deserve this.
Oh yeah. He is the one person, if anybody can make a full-time career out of music, Paul Fessler is the one that everyone is rooting for, man. Also his tag on Instagram, Paul Music 93. But
I found him. I followed him, and I followed How We Feel as well. So
yeah, he's fantastic, man. I think he single-handedly has, in the last 5 years, changed the attitudes of musicians in the metal community just because he's stupidly good. I mean, he is one of the best guitar players in Ohio, hands down. Oh, and wow. He is, I swear to God. I mean, he is just phenomenal. You'll watch him play, and he's so humble. He's like, no, I suck. It's like, no, you can't even say that with a straight face. He's
he's a goddamn Shane too. Remember when he added it? He added us in a group chat with a bunch of other musicians, just like get connected and stuff. And he was telling us like, "Oh yeah, so I think I'm gonna start waking up 3 hours early to practice my scales." Like,
And he would probably do it too.
he was doing it. He told me how, because I asked him how it was going at the CLE Mosh Fest. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, it's going good, man. You know, like we're doing this. Like I missed a couple days and here and that." I'm like, "What do you mean you missed a couple days? You're waking up at like 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning to do guitar scales for 2 hours. That's insane."
He's crazy, dude. He's so crazy, but he's so good.
He is.
And the last time I went over to his house, he's got a whiteboard about the size of a television. And he's just like, okay, and this is what I'm going to do for my practice routine. And this is the BPM I'm going to do it. And this is that. And I'm just like, oh, wow. Okay. That's a lot. But like, I love music and I love music theory, but that is.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
For me to say that, there's only like him and like 2 other guitar players in Northeast Ohio where I'm like, I am not going to play as much as them. They breathe it, man. Like I live it. They breathe it, and then they wake up like from a SpongeBob meme. They're just like immediately first thing they think about, just phenomenal. But he really has changed the mood in music around here. It's just because he's the gold standard. It's like, well, Paul's like the best player in town, and he's the nicest guy ever. So why do I have to be a dick if Paul's the nicest dude ever?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no reason to be a dick because I say that, but I've kind of reached the point where my doors are closed as far as helping people for the time being. That's just because I've been burnt too many times. But but that don't mean I'm going to be a dick, about it. But yeah, when you're as good at when you're that good at something, and then you can still be cool enough to be like, hey, I noticed you were doing this. Why don't you try that? And not come at you like an asshole, but like in a helpful, genuine manner. That speaks volumes for the person as a person, but not only that, but as an artist, because it just shows that they care about the music and about the industry. I think we've got a lot of artists and throughout history that are, and even today, that are just in it to make a quick buck and to get famous and don't really care what they do.
Just wild. If you are in any art form to make money, you should find a new way to make money.
I would love to make money doing this podcasting thing, and it obviously it is a goal, but I also understand like I don't have the money to put forward to make money doing it. Like I'm not going to spend a fortune on things just to make money doing what I like. I'll let it happen organically and naturally.
And you have to find that balance. We do put money into advertising for the band. We do put money into the recording and the artwork and everything, but we also make sure that like we sit down and we have a meeting where we go over our budget for the song. And that is the budget for the whole song. That's how much we're going to spend in the studio, how much we're going to spend on artwork, how much we're going to spend on marketing. Now with marketing, how are we going to divvy up the marketing? How many campaigns are we going to do? How are we going to run these campaigns? Are they going to be all for this social media, or that social media, or all the social media? How long are we going to run these campaigns? Like we have a meeting for probably like 2 hours where we just break everything down to make sure that we're investing in ourselves and our art, but we're also staying within our means of living, because we don't want to be starving artists doing the right amount of work in the wrong place. We don't want to put all of our money into ads for MySpace and then be upset because we don't blow up. Like,
we're
not going to buy a billboard in Wisconsin for a show that we don't have here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And it's been super helpful, man, having a nice ledger like that, because we really can look at the analytics and find where like our actual return on investment is. Because ultimately, Gavin and I would love to just do this and nothing else. And it is a very real dream, but it's a lot of having that business mentality of being like, where should the money be allocated? And are we actually going to see a return on investment? And it's been a lot of trial and error this first year, sitting down and just putting money in marketing and seeing where we want to push something, and then having it kind of blow up in our face. But because of everything that we've done so far, now we can sit down with the budget and determine, okay, well, we're going to get the most utility out of marketing towards this demographic in general, instead of it just having it being a bunch of, dude bros just telling us that we're a bunch of, unsavory things. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first time that I did an ad for one of our things on Instagram, I got called a flamer, which totally threw me off. I know people still use that word. Like I haven't heard that one in a while. And then part of me was all like guilty, but the other part was all like, weird. What a strange insult to give. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I expect it too, because I got my fingernails painted, I got the dangly earrings, I wear makeup and stuff, especially for the show. Like I'm used to it.
You're a fucking rock star, man.
Exactly, and it doesn't bother.
It's the image, you know what I mean?
It is. Like, well, it's not even just the image. It is part of who I am. Like I have my fingernails painted. I've had them painted for years just because that's part of who I am. That we try to make the image as much as possible who we are, just exaggerate it. Like, but
sometimes at the same time, exaggerated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Also, that's a cool thing about this project is that we don't feel like we have to really put on a face. Like it's kind of just it. Like Gavin and I grew up loving rock stars. Like I still dress up like a wannabe Slash, just because it's fun. Oh, like I love dressing up like that. So all the photos that you see of us being, jackasses in public, like that's just us because that's what we like to do. Like especially the one in front of the Rock Hall. Like we just kind of like he came up with the idea and we're like, no, screw it, wing it. Like
I can't believe more people don't film stuff at the Rock Hall. It's right there.
It's right there. On the outside.
Yeah.
It's but that's just us. Like the suit thing, I love wearing suits, but I also like dressing up like a rock star. Like everything has been very organic, and we like that to shine through, which is why I think that the project is doing a lot better than most other projects that all other projects that we've been in, because this is it. Like we don't have to fake anything.
Yeah,
we're just guys that like rock bands, and it's fun to dress up, have fun.
It's funny. There's still people out there, and unfortunately, you're gonna have the trolls that say stupid shit. But one of the first videos I seen, Gavin just reminded me of like an '80s punk guy. I was like a bald Billy Idol type, like
it's so funny with
the cutoff jacket, and the earrings and everything like that, and I'm assuming somewhere in Cleveland, just having a fucking good time, man, making a video for you guys' song. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's like a 80s punk rocker. I could dig it. This is cool. I'm digging it, man. And I love that you guys do so much around Cleveland. I'm an Ohio guy, unfortunately, born and bred in Central Ohio. I am a sports guy, and I bleed orange and brown, and I love the Cavaliers. So I am an Indians fan, but I'm more a Reds fan. But and I used to go up to Cleveland when I was younger and do a lot of partying. So it was like a special place in my heart for Cleveland. Years back, I used to go to the Flats all the time. I haven't been up there in years, so I don't even know if the Flats still exist. That's how old I am.
Yeah, they've added a couple of restaurants into the Flats, but they're definitely every weekend they're going crazy at the Flats.
But I love that you guys do the videos around town and the pictures and stuff like that and represent the city, man. I think that's really fucking cool.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it really is an awesome city. So I live in one of the worst neighborhoods, or the more dangerous neighborhoods in Cleveland. I live off of trying to say which street without Kinsman. I live off Kinsman, if you know anything about that.
Okay.
Kinsman and Union, yeah. And,
okay.
Over in East Cleveland. So lots of gunshots at night, lots of some gunshots during the day. It happens. Yeah. But I personally never had an issue in my neighborhood, going to the gas station or going to the Quick Mart up the street to get some food at night or something like that. I've never had any real issues because I'm on my own business. I don't mess with other people, and I just am respectful, when I'm out in public. If you go out looking for trouble, you're going to find trouble. And 100%. I found that in all of Cleveland in general. Like there really is a lot of amazing things that we have here, really a lot of cool sites to go see. There's a million different places to film, not just the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, not just Lakewood Park, not just the we got like a submarine here, or like a little Navy section by the Rock Hall that we drove past. We got to check that out sometime. We got the Space Center. We have amazing restaurants. We have the flats. You know, there's just so many cool places. We have all the metro parks, which I get a bit pet peevy about the metro parks. We do have a photo shoot coming up that we are going to do in the woods, and I'm only allowing it because Cody's idea for it I thought was very creative, and it will be different from what I don't like. What I don't like, and the reason why we have the photo shoots that we do, is because I feel like photo shoots are a huge part of the band's image. I feel like it's a great way to tell a story, keep people updated without having to make a video explaining it or having to put out music a whole lot, like put out a song every week kind of thing. It's a great way to keep people engaged and keep yourself creatively motivated and lubricated. And it always kills me to see these bands who are so amazingly talented and they have such a cool image. They have the outfits, they have the attitude and everything.
Yeah.
And then the photo shoot is just four assholes standing like this.
Yeah, right.
In the woods or in an abandoned building. It's just four guys just me mugging the mic. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, puppy. Oh, jeez. I swung my arm down and I scared him. But yeah, it's like it just kills me to see, because it's the same thing and it's through every level. It's local bands, it's national bands, it's world touring bands, it's all bands. They all have that same fucking photo again and again and again. And so one thing I told Cody was like, no abandoned buildings and nothing in the woods unless it is very original, it's very creative, and it has very little to do with the actual background. And that's what he came up with. He found a scene that does look stunning, especially with the snow. And he's like, let's dress up like this and let's do it this way. I was like, all right, that's pretty awesome. We can do that.
Don't give out too much of it now, Gavin. It's the
I have been known to get all kinds of exclusives and tea on this here show. You know, so no, I will say,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I do want to say, you know, you guys do some cool photography. Obviously, I have the background. I'm assuming that's on the lake or in the lake.
Yeah, that's Lake Erie. That was that was like a week before it froze over too. That water was fucking freezing.
I was going to ask you guys when you had that done, because
it's just, did you see the photo where he's laying in it? Like, he is actually like, I couldn't believe it. Like, as soon as he got in it and we had Sean the photographer take the photo, Gavin's like, I need to get the photo here. Yeah, just that aggressive, man. I couldn't believe he actually did it.
Oh, it was awful. And then I went straight from that to a vocal lesson. I had a lesson with David Benitez of the band's Renaissance. He was doing a VIP vocal lesson before his concert in Lakewood at the Foundry, and he's the one who taught me how to do false chords. So the false chords you hear me doing on More Than Worth It, that's the first time, bless you, that's the first time that I've ever done false chords on a record, and I learned how to do them like 2 months prior and just practice every single day to get it down, because I knew I wanted them on that track. So I had to show up to meet this dude to learn this new skill in freezing cold, soaking wet Lake Erie water underwear.
Worst part of it being, let's be honest, Lake Erie water.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I said Lake Erie water. Disgusting. Different kind of water.
It is a different monster, that is for sure.
Yeah.
What a story, though, man. I mean, just the crazy, I shouldn't say crazy, but the fun stories that Gavin and I have from this project, and all of them are just completely unscripted. It's just us living our lives every single day, and just the craziest thing that's happened. Like the bus that came around during one of the photo shoots. I'll have him tell it.
Okay.
Did you see that? Did you see that video? Did you see the video?
Might have. I was gonna say I might have. I know I was scrolling and looking at stuff.
We were shooting. This was we had just gotten the track for More Than Worth It, not the final mix, but we had the song, and so we wanted to get together to do videos and just do just do a batch content day. So we went to a couple different locations. I went to the Cleveland sign, we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we went to the graffiti wall to shoot video of us performing the songs to post on social media and to advertise for it. While we're at the Cleveland sign, our first destination, the Funny Bus pulls up. I don't know what the hell it is. It's a comedy bus. Never seen it before. The Funny Bus Cleveland pulls up, and all these people get out and they're looking at us. They're like, oh, look at, they're all dressed up. They got a guitar. Who are you guys? And we tell them like, oh yeah, we're Kissing Lilith. We got the song coming out right now. We got a song out right now. Like, oh, can we take a picture with you? Absolutely, yeah. So we take a picture together, and the bus driver pulls me over and was like, hey, what's your guys' name again? Oh yeah, no, I'll check you guys out for sure. we're getting ready to walk back to the car to switch outfits to keep shooting, and I hear our song on the fucking bus.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a microphone in hand with a cord on it, and I grab my phone and I put on the camera. I run onto the bus, and I just start belting out lipstick and gasoline because they're just blasting on there, and everybody's losing their goddamn minds. They're going crazy. And granted, there's probably like 25, maybe 30 people on this bus, but the authentic feeling of excitement and just how spontaneous it was. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
That is
People
awesome.
screaming. I'm doing power slides. I'm doing the wide stand. Everything Jack Black taught me in the School of Rock. I am throwing it down. All right, like, going crazy on this bus, and we get off, and I just look at Cody, and he looks at me, and I'm like, "Fuck! Did that just really happen? Are you kidding me?" And
We
the
have a lot of moments like that.
footage looks awesome. We posted it on our social media. It did about as well as all the other things we posted, in all honesty. But the memory of it and the feeling of just capturing that crowd right there, who one, we would never expect to be a target audience. You know, it was just like, if you just picked a random 30 people out of Cleveland, from like some young college kids to middle-aged soccer moms, and them all just going insane while I'm doing this, was an unforgettable feeling.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Those unscripted type spontaneous moments, like unplanned. It's just you having the balls to just go with it. Like,
yeah, you have
fuck
to.
It, this is my moment, man.
Opportunity does not knock twice, man. And that's the greatest thing about the two of us, is that when something just pops up in front of us, he'll look at me, I'll look at him and say, it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
And it's just the amount of opportunities that we get just because we're willing to try different things. That's what keeps opening up doors for us. We very rarely say no, unless it's something really, honestly, I don't think we've said no to anything. We're just so open to opportunities, because why not? You're only on the rock once, man. You're only on the earth once. Why not have the opportunity to try?
Yeah, we're always happy to try something, and even like, too, for a little backstory. So I posted, promoting lipstick guessing. I posted, hey, if we get 1,000 likes on this post, I'll go skydiving, and I'll do it skydiving. And I didn't promote the thing at all or anything like that. Because I wanted to try to get that really organic reach and see what I could do. I'm truly mess with the algorithm. And then I posted, if we get this many followers, I'll go skydiving. And eventually we hit one of the goals, and I did it skydiving. And I got thrown out of a plane. And I'm singing the song we got a couple of videos posted. I'm thrown out of a plane. I'm singing the song 2 miles in the sky. I did a halo jump. So I did a full minute of free fall before we pulled the parachute. And in all honesty, the bus was 10 times more exciting to me than jumping out of the plane.
You had a 100% you just had an audience land in your lap, man.
Yeah.
And then they were they were playing your song. So yeah, man, I'm the type of guy where I don't believe in waiting for opportunity to come knock. I'm going to kick opportunity's door in. I'm kicking the son of a bitch off the hinges. If I get a feeling about something, or if I think something's going to be good or whatever, I'm kicking the door off the hinges. You're not knocking. I'm coming in full SWAT gear.
Find that opportunity. I'm going to tie to the radiator and
throw it in a cage in my basement or something. I don't know, but yeah, no, that's awesome about you guys. That you have that type of personality where you're just like, fuck it. And I was gonna say, with the photo shoots, man, the photos are cool, and I appreciate them on a different level. Not only are they cool, but it makes my life easier, because I like to put a photo of the artist behind me. I like to do a little post on social media and whatnot. And you'd be surprised at how many artists don't do photo shoots, and they just post snippets of their. So I've got to do a screenshot and try to get this perfect moment in a video to where it's not blurry, or they're not caught looking, so. And it was hard for me to find a picture that I liked too. So I know you guys got your Facebook picture. I think that's a really cool picture. You guys, your cover photo. And then there was a couple in the lake, and I was like, these are just fucking cool pictures, man. And just through the pictures, you guys can tell that you guys like to have fun and you're spontaneous, because
Yeah, well,
It takes a lot to get into Lake Erie willingly.
Yeah. Oh my God, none. Yeah, so gross, like Erie. But I mean, it's all art because it's not just the music for us. It is the image, it is the experience, it is trying to keep in mind the audience as well, and not even just the audience as in people listening to our music for us on Facebook, but like people like the audience like you who, when we come onto your show, we want to make things as easy as possible for you, but we also want to have fun. And what's something we do? We can do awesome photo shoots. So that way you have content, you have things that you can talk about to us. I did podcast interviews all throughout COVID. I had a morning talk show. And one of my biggest pet peeves was getting my guest, and the day before or the week before, however long, I was like, oh, I got this guest. And then there's nothing I could find on them. And so I had to just pull questions out of my ass, or I just had to like make up stuff on the fly, or I had to like really struggle through conversation when they would just give me like very kind of answers.
I've had a couple like that, and we still had a great time. We still had a great interview. They were just so new to the music scene and doing social media. There was just nothing there, and then and then when you would go look on there, like go to look for music to play, they're promoting these new songs, but they don't have them anywhere. They just have these songs that are 3-4 years old on like YouTube and stuff, and it's like. And then I play them. They're like, "Oh wow, that's old. Oh man." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you didn't have anything."
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to be a successful artist, and I don't care if it is music, if it's painting, if it's photography, if it's poetry, if you want to be a successful artist in the definition of people either looking and consuming your art or purchasing your art or whatever it may be, make whatever goal you want people to do, whatever that call to action is, make it as easy as possible. Make it as easy as possible. Don't tell somebody, hey, go. I want you to listen to my song. Go look it up. Get off of this and go to YouTube and remember my name in the song and type it in and then look. No, send them a link. Hey, here's my song. Boom. One click away. Oh, easy. All the time. Yeah. Well, whenever we have musicians reach out to us and say, oh yeah, I'd love for you to hear my music, I always tell them, I would love to hear your music. If they don't send me a link, I tell them, send me a link. That's my way of trying to kind of hold their hand and show them, like, especially new musicians, hold their hand, show them the etiquette of, hey, send me a link, because I don't want to tell you I'm not going to listen to it if you don't send it to me, because I will. If I have the time, I will go look it up and I will find it. I don't always, but I will go look and find it. But I know for a fact that if you do that to a radio, if you're trying to get on a radio station, and if you tell them, hey, look up my song, if you like it, put it on your radio, they're going to say, fuck you. They're going to say, this guy's an idiot. They might even blacklist you for it if they're a real dick about it.
And there's so many, there's BioLink, there's Linktree, there's so many platforms, or, whatever you can use. And we have one, and it's got all, like, just go to our BioLink. And it's and we put it in all of our social media. I know you guys have done the same thing. Makes it so much easier just to be like. And one of the things that I just started doing, like on our YouTube channel now, like I said, we have 8 shows a week. I've started putting them into playlists because I've reached out to artists and they're like, oh well, let me go listen to a couple of your a couple of your interviews or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's right there on our YouTube channel. And then I get to look and I'm like, oh God, we're doing 8 shows a week. This is only one show out of the week, and if you go to our live section, they're all there. But sometimes you got to scroll and really look for them. So I started putting them into playlists. Each show's out, starting to get its own individual playlist to make it.
This show is on Spotify, right?
All of our shows are on Spotify.
You know what you could do on Spotify as well is you can make playlists that feature 1 or 2 songs from each band. So you can do each month or something, or like genres or something like that. That'd be a great way to engage with people. It's
funny you bring that up, because that brings me to a question that I always ask, because I am working on a Spotify, just one for right now, and then I'm going to break them up into genres and stuff like that. But as long as it's okay with you guys, I would like to add you to the playlist that I'm working on with all my past guests. So I mean, that's the only music that's on there is former guests. And then I want to do something where I do break it down in genres. I also want to do something just specifically for new music when new music is released that I can drop and it's just dedicated to my guests. So there's no
Yes.
other. It's not like I'm
Would
going to
be
slide
honored.
in like Zeppelin or Metallica or anything like that. It's 100% dedicated to you guys.
You
to
would
give
be
you
doing
guys
the
another.
artist such a favor by doing that.
It really is. I don't think people realize how much that actually helps an artist. If you take an artist's music and you put it into a custom playlist, especially one that you listen to a lot, if it's like a gym playlist or a
Mhm.
playlist where you're cleaning the house or something like that, that boosts our algorithm tenfold. Like
Yeah.
one of the most supportive things that you could do for a local artist is buy merch and put our music in a playlist that you'll listen to.
Yep. And I learned that from a guest because again, I'm a little slow when it comes to some of these things, some of these platforms. I didn't know I could create a playlist on Spotify and share it to people. I'm like, God, if I'd have known that, I would have been doing that years ago because I listen to, I mean, if I say so, I listen to some pretty kick-ass music. I got pretty good taste in music at the end of the day. So like, and I was like, man, that's a hell of an idea. It's just a matter of finding the time to sit down and
Yeah.
look up all my guests, go through their music, add the music, because I don't want to just put their whole catalog on there.
Yeah, no, like
I'm
one
gonna
or two
put my
songs,
favorite.
'cause it'll
Yeah, I
build
want to put my
itself.
favorite songs on there that by the artist. You know what I mean? So you guys will definitely be on that list once it's completed, and it'll be shared out onto our socials. It'll be added to
Thank you.
our bio link and all that stuff. So that's just a work in progress. It's like a lot of things that I have going on.
Yeah, take
I do
your
all the
time, man.
behind the scenes stuff for the network. I'm trying to unload my plate some, but that's if you assholes are listening, you know that's a much harder task than I thought it was going to be. So
No, I get it too. I get it. When we thought that TikTok was going to be banned, I went through and I downloaded all of our best performing TikTok videos,
Yeah.
and I spent an hour the night when it was banned for like 12 hours. I spent the next day for an hour and a half uploading all of those videos to YouTube with new hashtags and captions and everything, and then I scheduled them out to release at 12 a.m. every day, all the way till March 18th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that's that's the other thing, man, is the consistency in staying on top of posting and staying in the algorithm, keeping eyes, keeping people's attentions, like we said earlier, you beating them into submission, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna watch us, you're gonna see us. There's nothing you can do about it. We're in your algorithm now. So
yeah, and we're gonna keep. I mean, we promoted Lipstick and Gasoline for months, and we're gonna promote this song not quite as long because we're going back into the studio. In February, early February, we're going back to the studio for the third song. But until then, we're gonna continue promoting the hell out of this song, More Than Worth It, until we're ready to promote that next song. Cody, why are you juggling cats right now?
I was gonna say, what is going on down there?
How many on the back and hops up this way and gets on top of the piano?
Okay, that is like the fourth song.
How many cats do you have, Cody?
2, but only one is this acrobatic. The other one's a little fat and lazy.
Yeah. What the fuck was I saying?
Sorry, Adam. Apologize.
Social media, something. Posting a lot.
Just promoting the new music. You got the new song that you'll be working on.
Oh, yeah.
In
So in the meantime, we're just going to promote the hell out of this song, so that way even people who do know it, people who love it, people who listen to it every single day, to the people that only hear us once in a while or are seeing us for the first time, so they just don't forget. You know, that's the other important thing. I feel like a lot of artists, they put out a song, they promote the hell out of it for a week, and then they don't talk about it again because they're worried about annoying the people on their feed. But who cares? That's why you have a band page and a personal page.
That's why you have social media.
Yeah.
It's my world. I'm letting you live in it. Just calm down.
You don't want people to forget about you.
Yeah.
Like on my personal page, I rarely post about the band.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe once every 2 weeks, I'll share something from the band, or I'll collaborate with myself from the band to my personal page.
Yeah.
On the band page, I'm posting every day.
Yes.
That's the band page. That's what it's for.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I as far as Instagram, I never use my personal page. I have 3 pages on Instagram. We won't talk about the third one, but I have 3 pages on Instagram. My personal page, I never use. I can't remember the last time I posted on my personal page. I think it had something to do with the podcast or the network or something. Oh no, I was promoting my fiance's She's starting her own in-home business doing the shirts and hoodies and cups and everything like that.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, she had made me a hoodie for the network, and I made a video shouting her out, and I think I put that on my personal stuff. But
is that the hoodie you're wearing right now?
This is actually I just had her made this one. This was my Glick's House of Music one.
Yeah. No, that looks awesome, man.
And then on the back, it's got Nonsensical Network. And then I have one that has the Nonsensical Network on the front with a logo that I designed. And then on the back, it's got my catchphrase. I say at the end of every show is "Be good or be good at it." So we put that on the back of it. And we're working on some designs for all the shows. I'll be rocking everything. You know, I told the guys, I was like, if you want something, let me know. Obviously, you get the company discount, but you know, but yeah, promoting her business, and she's become a part of the network with us, because at the end of the day, she's going to do everything for us, the shirts and the hoodies and cups and whatnot. And I got a couple cups I want her to make me, so because I always have something on my desk when I'm doing a show drinking, so why not have a cup with my logo on it? You know,
that's beautiful that you both have your separate passions that you're able to find common ground to work together on. You know, like my fiance, she's a musician as well, but she does pop music. But she's asked me before, she's like, hey, what is, like, could you help me out on this chorus for this melody, or could you help me record this or figure this out with me? And she's always asking me questions, then I'm asking her too for help here and there. Like, hey, what's your opinion on these lyrics? What's your opinion on this melody that I'm doing? And it's really nice to have that, especially in your partner, have somebody that you can bounce those ideas back and forth with and work together with.
I think we lost Glick.
I think so too. I think he froze.
Oh, no, Gavin, no.
Oh, geez. It's just you and me, Cody. What do we got going on, Cody? We got
nothing.
Yeah, we got stuff going on. We got Cody. We got Billy Morris coming up soon, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes. What are we doing?
I don't want to talk too much about that yet.
You want to talk?
No, it's really. I know it's a really.
I want to talk about it so much.
I know. I want to talk about it too, but I don't think we should talk about it yet.
All right, fine. We won't talk about it yet, but we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking.
I'll tell you after this Sunday.
We are going to Billy's soon at this Sunday. This Sunday. Yeah. Fuck. Crazy. All right, what are we going to Scooters? We're going to Scooters.
Scooters we can talk about. So Scooters we're going February 9th through the 11th.
February 9th through the 11th. Yeah, that Scooter Allen is the owner of Rewire Studio, which now
is he the owner?
Yeah, it's his studio. Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was just an engineer. Is he?
I'm like 110% that it's his.
I'm gonna go with what you're saying.
Okay. I'm pretty sure, because unless he's sold about, I'm pretty sure it's his. Either way, he's in Cleveland. He used to be in Akron last time I recorded him, and the last time I recorded with him was with Dying Distillation for our EP. Hey, Glick, get back.
Welcome back to our show.
Sure.
Don't worry, I took over. We're talking about next time we go into the studio. But yeah, so the last time I worked with Scooter Allen was when I was probably 18 years old, and I'm just really I'm so excited to work with him. Unbelievably excited, because the last time I worked with him, he took my vocals from here to here, just because he was so familiar with the heavy and alternative genres and was able to explain to me how to sing in certain ways and get certain sounds that I wasn't able to prior to that. And he also was really great at sort of giving me the confidence that I needed to properly use my voice, because Cody, you know that I'm a very loud person. I do have a very yeah, just a little bit, just a bit, a little bit. No, yeah. I got some thunder in there. Oh,
God, you're the Dr. Frankenfurter I never knew I needed in my life.
I do have a very theatrical voice, and I've always had that since I was in middle school and doing musical theater and plays and everything. I was able to project very, very loud and very effortlessly. But for whatever reason, when I get in the studio and the microphone's right there and I got the headphones on, I got sheepish. I had some performance issues at a young age.
Well, performance anxiety, huh?
yeah, just a little bit of performance anxiety, and oh yeah, Natalie loves cats. Okay. Scooter was really able to help me break out of that in the studio specifically, which took my recording process to a whole new level. He also the guy that we recorded beforehand, it was like we would just run the song and run the song and run the song, and we do that like 8 times, and then we go through, we pick out the best parts, and then we go through and we like clean up a little bit here and there. Where with Scooter was a lot more of how you and I record now, Cody, where we'll just go through a section at a time, and even those sections we break into sections. So like we'll do the first verse, but we'll do like the first couple lines of the first verse, and then we'll do the next part and the next part, because in the studio, that's where perfection is. And that's where we become perfectionists, you know. And that's where, like when Cody was saying, whoever else joins the band needs to have the chops. That's what it is. It's in the studio. They need to have the chops. They need to be that human metronome. I mean, well, one thing Cody brought to my attention, I realized we haven't quantized anything that we've recorded.
No, not a single thing yet.
Yeah, everything has been on beats and has been where it needs to be as far as recording goes, which is just, it's amazing. I didn't know that at all. I thought we were quantizing everything. Apparently not. So we need somebody to be on that level as well in the studio, because that's really where perfection needs to be. Now on stage, that's performance. That's an experience. You know, that people are, if I want to hear something perfect, I will listen to the album. If I want to have a night to remember an experience, I'm going to a show, and that's what I'm expecting. And that's what we will be bringing when we do live shows. I want people to be talking about our shows for the next week, the next month, the next 6 months. Even if it's just a small local show, our first show, I want people to be talking about, oh my God, did you see what Kissing Lilith did? Did you see what the photographer was doing? Did you see where he was hanging from? Did you see the extras they had walking in the crowd doing? Like we have so many things planned out for live shows, even though it is so far down the road. I have an extra room in my house where I am building the merch table, and I'm designing it a very specific way, because I don't want to have the same bullshit $20 black Walmart flip table with the black cover on it. I want it to be, I want our merch table to be a piece of art. Everything about this project, I want to have our personality put into it. So that way, no matter you're looking at a t-shirt or an album cover or the shoes that we're wearing on stage, whatever you see, you're looking, you're like, that is them and that is Kissing Lilith.
No, 100%, man. I mean, I have never been the biggest Kiss fan, and I use these guys for an example. No shade on the band. Gene Simmons is a bit of a lunatic, but never really was a big Kiss fan. There's a couple songs that I like, and they're like probably I get made fun of for liking these Kiss songs, but it is what it is. But a buddy of mine in high school, he was a diehard Kiss. Man, he fucking loved Kiss. And he was like, well, I got these tickets for Kiss Psycho Circus. This was at Players Amphitheater down here in Columbus. And I'm like, I could think of about a million other things I'd rather do than to go see Kiss, you know. But I went, and my God, they put on a show. I mean, lasers and fire and the outfits and just I'm when I go to a concert, I like you said, man, I would much rather see a show. I don't care if you're. I'm not that guy who's gonna bust somebody's balls for lip syncing. If you put on a great show, hell yeah, fuck the rest. I can go buy the album. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And hear the song.
Absolutely.
That's the thing that you'll always remember is the performance. You're not going to pay attention and be like, no, you know what? That bass player's tone just it's not exactly like that. I'm like, who cares, dude? Who cares? You care about how the show made you feel, and that's the one thing that a lot of local bands that are trying to break into the national level, they just don't get. They're so worried about sounding so technical and so much like the album that they're just standing there and it's boring. And you're like, okay, well, and Gavin, you've said it before. I'd rather just go and sit at the bar and grab a drink and just wait for you guys to be open.
Absolutely. And for the people watching and listening, if you're the guy who buys tickets to go to shows just to critique things like the tone of the bass or whatever it is, if you're that guy, thanks for buying a ticket and supporting us.
Right.
But that's really all I can say. Just thanks for buying a ticket. Thanks for filling the room.
A few years back, I got the opportunity to check a band off my bucket list that I didn't think I would ever get to. That being Guns N' Roses. They're one of my favorite rock bands of all time. Wow. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Love me some Guns N' Roses. Yeah. And they were at Louder Than Life down in Louisville, or down in Louisville a few years back. I just moved back to Ohio, and they announced the lineup, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going the whole week. And the whole lineup was great. And not to mention there was a bunch of small, you know how they do the side stages and stuff. There were some local bands that I had heard of and that I listened to. I've come across them on YouTube or whatever. And I was like, oh, cool, so-and-so is going to be there on the side. I'm going to go check them out. You know, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going the whole 4 days. But the experience of getting to see one of my favorite bands being Guns N' Roses, I didn't give a damn. And Axl was singing, and he sounded great. But Axl was also still Axl. You know, and he's up there. He was running around the stage, and he's being crazy. And Slash is doing what Slash does. And it was such a phenomenal experience that I didn't care that you heard Axl's voice crack a couple times, or that he got winded when he was singing, or there was a few times where you heard, which is it's a rarity, and it's not really even something that you think about. But Slash missed a note or something because he was running across stage or whatever. I didn't give a fuck, man. I'm seeing one of my favorite bands, and they're putting on a show that I never thought I would get to see, let alone when they announced it. I still didn't think that it would be a live concert of what you used to see in the video footage of those guys doing their thing. And it was everything I thought it would be. And I didn't care about anything else other than the fact that I'm here. And Guns N' Roses is on stage, and I'm loving it. I got to see Ice Cube that weekend too, which I'm a huge fan of Ice Cube, being an old school hip hop fan. It was so, and I was like, hell yeah, man! So many great bands, so many great performances. Yeah, man. If I go to a concert, I want to see a show. I was a Stain fan until I seen them in concert. This is back when they first came out, and Aaron Lewis literally sang. He got up on stage and he just sang like this the whole time. Every single song, he just didn't.
That's
and I'm like, man, fuck Stain.
Yeah, that's
just like, fuck.
I've never gotten it,
but I seen him at Louder Than Life. They were there, and he had a totally different personality. And I was back in. I'm back. I'm like, you got me back.
Good.
Yeah, he was having fun. I guess it was something that he was going through personally with the back in the day with the record label, and you know, he wrote a song on his country album about it, that they basically forced him to be something that he wasn't, and he wasn't happy. When he got released from that, when he was able to get released from that label, and he did a country album, he wrote a couple songs where he broke down what was basically going on, and where he was mentally in that time period, and why he was doing the things that he was doing. And they were at Louder Than Life. Stain was there, and it was like a totally different band. And it was like a complete 180, man. They were having fun. Aaron Lewis was having fun. He was having a good time. So it was like, all right, I'm back. You brought me back, you know, because there was a good performance. But yeah, man, sometimes it comes down to that. You know, you want to see the theatrical stuff. You want to see a guy hanging from the ceiling singing a freaking song, you know. like this is what I'm paying for, you know.
And that's what we have. Like we have plans for geysers and light shows and pyrotechnics and dancers, and me being tied upside down and beaten with rubber chickens and baseball bats or whatever. I'm just making up shit now. Like we have ideas and we have plans to make it an event that people will feel like not only they want to be there, but they need to be there.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think even before that, before we even get to all the big stuff, I want when the band is finalized and there's the 4 of us, I just want the shows to be incredible. Just if you were to see us in a basement, I want us to be the band that you go and tell your friends, oh, wow, they should be playing in a place way bigger than a basement. Yeah. Not that we would have to, but you know what I'm saying? Like when it's just 4 guys in a room and they have that kind of energy, you can tell. And when it's on stage, you can see it. Because if you go and see a band and they're all just standing around just playing the songs, you're not going to go and tell your friends, check these guys up. But if you have 4 dudes that are just in sync and absolutely killing it, and they look like they want to be there, and they have all the energy in the world, and you can tell, it's like, okay, well, these are the guys. Then once the extra stuff comes on, then that's where the whole experience comes. But it all is going to start with just us. And that is my biggest thing that I want out of this band is when you come and see us, it doesn't matter if we're standing on wood pallets or if we're at the House of Blues, you get to see Kissing Lilith, and you're going to be blown away by the entire experience.
No, yeah, there was I went a couple of years ago. One of my favorite bands. They were in Columbus. They're friends of the network. When we first started, I reached out and we were playing their music for a very long time here. And they had an opening act, and this kid, the lead singer, just blew me away. And I got to talk to him after. I got to talk to him after the show and everything like that. And I told him, I was like, you are this generation's David Lee Roth. Well, then a couple weeks later, that he hit me up on Snapchat. He was like, yo, we're playing this bar in Centerburg, just quote unquote, technically my hometown. It's a little podunk ass town in the middle of Knox County, right? And he's like, you ever heard of it? And I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm from. He's like, you know this bar? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it'd be really cool if you come out, man. Hell yeah, I got you guys. I driving out, and I get out there, and there might have been 30 people there, but they were playing like they were in front of a sold out stadium with 30,000 people there, man.
Yeah.
The lead singer was running around the bar, singing and dancing. He coming up to, like he came up to me multiple times, and we were singing together. And I'm not a singer by no means. This is why I do podcasting, because I can't. But we were singing together. He was just having a blast, and that's cool. That's a fun energy. Like you said, it doesn't matter if you're in a basement or where you're at. And they had that energy. Unfortunately, the band's no longer together. They're all doing different projects and stuff like that. But that's cool. It's sometimes you see artists and you see them on social media. And you're like, yeah, these guys would be cool. But then you go see them at a show, and it's just like, where's all that energy that was in social media? You got me here. I seen you on social. Where's that energy at? Now I feel like I just wasted my time and energy coming out here.
Well, I think that really comes down to
like if you were to come to one of our shows, dude, I would never want you to leave being like, that was kind of a waste today.
And I'll tell you now, when you guys have that first show, you let me know, and I'll do my damnedest to be there. This year, one of the things we're doing, I was talking to my fiance. I said the artists that I interview, I think if they're playing a show within 2 to 3 hours of us, I think I'm going to start trying to go as much as we can. Obviously, that depends on my schedule with the kids and whatnot, because I have my kids a week on and a week off. But I was like, if it's a weekend where the kids aren't here, then we just did one this weekend. We just went to Indiana to see one of my former guests, and good friend of mine. He's become a very good. He's basically like a little brother at this point. We went to Indiana for the weekend to see him do an acoustic show in a hole-in-the-wall bar at his hometown, just to be there to support him. And that's just the next level of me showing that I want to support you guys and the artists that are coming up. Like, look, if you're within 2 or 3 hours of where I live, I'm going to be there. If I can be there, I'm in the house. So, and I'm going to be posting on social media too while I'm there. So go ahead and you might as well just know that I'm going to be posting on social media when I'm there. So, but that's just another level of support. And I think, and I love music, but I love local music more than I love the mainstream music. I'm all about, I always have been. I'd much rather go to a local bar and see, a bunch of guys having fun, just coming up, just getting started, as opposed to spending $600 and going to see, some Metallica. I wouldn't pay $1 to see Metallica, but that's neither here nor there. But that's just me.
That's all right.
So,
are you
guys,
like a huge Metallica groupie like a lot of people are?
I don't like Metallica at all. I like their old stuff. And I'm that guy who says Metallica sold out and their music went to crap after the Black Album.
So the way that I am about it is because I do agree with you to some extent. I appreciate what they did for the genre and the music community, and like they're the reason why Primus exists. Because Les Claypool went to audition for Metallica and they told him, "You're way too good to be in this band. We're going to help you with your own project." They did amazing things. But I will never go out of my way to listen to Metallica. I would never go out. I would never be like, you know what I need to listen to right now at the gym? Metallica. And or when I'm riding my motorcycle, I'll never be like, you know what I need to listen to right now? One. Like that will never happen for me, just because there's other things that I think are significantly more interesting to listen to.
Yeah, and I think
they're talented.
I was
and they're
also
the most successful metal band, in the world. I cannot deny that at all. I cannot deny their success or their talent at all. But they're also just off me. I don't think that they are the greatest band in the world.
Yeah. No, I'm also a bigger fan of Iron Maiden and Megadeth.
I saw Iron Maiden live for the Book of Souls tour, and that was fucking amazing.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
That's one band that, that's just me, you know. But it's just, man. And then the whole like Napster thing, and there's a lot of the reasons why I don't like Metallica.
Lars Ulrich can put a bad taste in people's mouth, but I will say, as far as like metal shows go, dude, I'm with you on Maiden. You don't even have to like Iron Maiden, but if you go see Iron Maiden live, you're gonna be like,
insane show.
It's insane. I saw them with Dream Theater, and Dream Theater was opening for them, and I didn't know who Dream Theater was at the moment. You know, realizing that John Petrucci is one of the best guitar players in the world. And when they left the stage, I'm like, oh, they're pretty good. You know, me being like 15 years old, not getting it yet. I'm like, oh, they're pretty good. But they were, dude, I'll be honest, they were boring. Like, they are the best musicians in the world. But when they were done, I'm like, oh, that was cool. I'm glad that Iron Maiden gave those guys a chance, not realizing. You know? But then Maiden goes on, and you're just like, whoa. Like, they had the giant Eddie zombie walking around on stilts.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't able to have pyrotechnics because it was at Blossom Music Center, but they had everything else. And you're just sitting there as like a 15-year-old. You're like, it's the coolest show in the world. It's just they have the nice balance between being world-class musicians and a world-class actual performance, and they kill it every time. They're fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That Blossom venue is nice. I got to go there for the first time last year, year before.
Really, you've never been there before.
My fiance is a huge Jelly Roll fan.
Oh, okay, nice. That would be a cool show to see. So I went to Blossom to see Korn, and
nice.
I was Korn and Evanescence, and I was disappointed because I didn't know there's no moshing at Blossom. And that killed half the experience. I've seen Korn probably 4 times now, and that was the only time that I've never moshed to Korn, and that was disappointing. But then my fiance took me to go see Lord of the Rings with the live orchestra, and that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
God, I don't know how many times I've seen Korn a couple times. We used to go to the Polaris Amphitheater, and we used to go to like the Family Values tour every year, and we'd go to like the Vans Warp tour every year, Ozfest, and I was seeing bands like I was like seeing Avril Lavigne at Vans, and I'm like, I'm too cool to listen to Avril Lavigne, and then I'm like, oh, she's actually really fucking cute, and she can sing too. I'm an Avril Lavigne fan. You know, so I love those outdoor venues. Unfortunately, they did just move it to another venue because they had to shut down Polaris a few years ago because I don't know, we're going to put a concert venue outdoors, and then 5 years later we're going to build a suburb around it because that's a good idea.
Oh,
so instantly, as soon as people started moving in, started bitching about the amphitheater, and it's just like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Which is insane. Why would you move next to the amphitheater? Yeah. Not being aware that it's the fucking amphitheater.
Why would you build it?
You know what happens at amphitheaters? Concerts.
Yeah. That's like moving next to the ocean and being pissed that it smells like seawater all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, people aren't too bright these days. So I got to ask you guys. So this is something I've been curious about because the nerd in me went 2 different directions. Kissing Lilith. Where did the name come from? Because, like I said, the nerd in me went one way, went True Blood, the OG vampire, and the other one went the White-Eyed Demon in Supernatural.
Oh, nice. So the name Kissing Lilith, this is one of the questions that always comes up. People know about the name, which I'm very flattered about because I'm the one who came up with the name, and I like that it's gotten so much attention and curiosity. So it actually comes from the mythical character of Lilith, so the original Eve is where the name itself comes from, and then the meaning behind it is the fact that we are all, and I'm not a Christian, I'm not a religious man, but I do enjoy studying religions of all sorts. Christianity happens to be the most popular here in America, so that's one that I've had most of my attention to. I do believe that we are born into sin and into chaos. You know, I think that that's the natural state of the world. You know, if you look at any anything that is alive other than people. We got out of the food chain, which is an insane thing to think about. Like you never go into work, you're like, oh, what happened to Terry? He got taken away by a fucking leopard. Like that doesn't happen, at least not in most places. But if you look in the animal kingdom, it's chaos. It's things eating things all the time. It's horrible things happening all around us, and we have to choose when horrible things happen to us, if it's going to make us weak or strong, if it's going to make us good or evil. How do we respond to it? Do we respond or do we react to it? What happens when we are given success? What happens when we have to go through failure? And I really, really resonate with the character of Lilith, and taking that story and transferring that into the meaning of, no matter what happens, we can still determine what our future is going to be. We can still determine if we can be positive people. We can have our backbone and say no without hurting others. You know, you can stand your ground. You can be more than worth it. You can and you do deserve happiness, regardless of if you've done bad things, regardless of if you've had bad things done to you. You don't let that trauma define you. It shapes you naturally. There's nothing you can do about that. We are a product of our childhood trauma and reward, but we can acknowledge that and we can grow from it. The name itself, Kissing Lilith, it derives from that, and then it had to be two different things. I wanted something that was going to be sexy, dangerous, catchy, that would fit the genre of music that we were going to be playing. And then the number one thing, actually, the thing that I always think about when I'm ever trying to think of a band name is it something that I can easily imagine on a billboard, talked on the radio, on a lineup of other bands, on a set list? You know, I can imagine so clearly in my head, oh, are you going to go to the concert this weekend? I don't know. Who's playing? Oh, it's going to be Falling in Reverse, In This Moment, Kissing Lilith, and A Day to Remember. Oh, that sounds like a fucking awesome concert. Absolutely. But how much are tickets? Yeah. I can imagine that so crystal clearly in my mind. It just sounds completely natural being associated with bands of that level. You know, it doesn't sound like some bullshit that someone scribbled down on a napkin because someone asked, oh, what are we going to call ourselves? We don't know. Let's figure it out right now. And they just put down the first thing they thought of. And I'm just talking to Cody again. Hi, Cody.
Again, man.
Yeah, but we're talking to the audience too, the people listening. So that's really what I wanted the name to be. I wanted it to be something that I could very easily imagine being a successful name. I wanted it to be something that I felt people could resonate with, that had emotion and power behind the name. And then I wanted it to be something that had a personal meaning to me, and then something that could be a personal meaning to other people, have a message that people could grab onto. My band name was Poop Splash. Fantastic. And you know what's funny about marketing? You could probably make a band called Poop Splash, and if you had the right marketing and the right look, it would be unbelievably successful.
Oh, yeah.
Probably more than
absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably more. Yeah. Salad Fingers is a great example of that. Insane thing, very successful video, weird video on YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's and like you were saying, man, Kissing Lilith does. I mean, it really does. It's one of those names that you expect to see at Louder Than Life or Rock on the Ring or whatever the hell they're called, Sonic Temple, and Incarnation and stuff. Like you expect to hear that band name at one of those festivals, you know, because it just goes with the flow of everything. It's a cool ass fucking name. Like I said, the nerd in me went to those two television shows, but that character is based off of Lilith, you know, the original. Yeah. So both of them, they're just. What's that?
Oh, so it's good that it's thought provoking, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know it's a little controversial too. I know that there's going to be people who have issues. Like I've already had people ask me, like, "Oh, is your band a Satanist band? Are you anti-religion and this and that?" I'm like, "No, that is very little to do with what we're doing, because even though the name is based off of a fictional religious character, it has very little to do with the religious aspect of the lore.
Yeah,
It more has to do with the emotional aspect of it and the spiritual aspect of it.
Plus, it's a kick-ass name. Get over it. You know?
It is a cool name. I came up with probably like 15 or 20 names, and that was the first one I came up with. And I sent this list to a bunch of people that I thought would be our target audience, who would look like us and who would look like the people that we imagine in the crowd.
Yeah.
And almost every one of them, I just said, hey, tell me which of these names you like. I didn't say a specific one. I didn't say just name one. I said, just give me a list of the ones you really like. And almost every list had Kissing Lilith in it.
Nice. I'm sure I don't match your targeted demographic, as far as looks and appearance, because I am a giant Sasquatch. I'm a big old country bumpkin, but I will definitely stand out in a crowd when you guys do your show and I'm there. I'll 100% be there.
I think that you would match very well with the crowd. Yeah,
I think because everybody thus far has enjoyed the music because. Well, I mean, I guess we have a target, but we focus on writing good music first, and people that enjoy well-written songs are going to resonate with it, whether they realize what we're all about or
not. So, with the style of music you guys are in, with the heavy metal, the rock scene, the alternative, whatnot, being a positive force, do you find that difficult, or is it kind of are you kind of I'm trying to think of the correct, do people kind of look at you weird when you say we're spreading positivity, but this is our style of music? Because for so many years obviously heavy metal has been associated one way, so
so I think on the surface level it sounds very strange, because usually, especially to people who don't listen to metal and don't listen to heavier alternative genres, when they hear it, they just think of like they just think of like very like aggressive, and they're like, oh, clearly they're talking about blood, death, and hate and Satan and all this, like all kinds of shit. They're just talking about negativity. But for us, no, we don't see it as, at least when I'm writing lyrics, I don't find it difficult. I find it, because I treat it as therapy. I treat it as a therapeutic thing where our songs are positive, but they're not happy.
Yeah.
In the sense of like more than worth it. It's not talking about happy things. It's talking about doubting myself. It's talking about being told that I'm not good enough. It's talking about being cast aside, but it's positive in the sense of it's me saying, fuck that. I will rise above this, and I'm going to be more successful than anybody who ever doubted me would ever imagine that they could be successful. That is what that song is saying. It's a very positive, powerful message, but it's not a happy song. Lipstick and Gasoline is about an extremely toxic and abusive relationship that I was in, and it's not a happy song. But the story behind it ends up being positive because I was able to get out of that relationship. I was able to heal from it. My life right now is the best that it's ever been. In all honesty, I'm the happiest, I'm the most stable that I've ever been in my life. And like I said earlier, I live in one of the worst neighborhoods in Cleveland. And it doesn't, but that doesn't affect me at all because I'm surrounded by people that I love. I have financial stability. I have emotional stability. I'm able to express my passions. I'm physically in good health. I'm mentally in good health. Like I was able to, where beforehand, that relationship I was in, I was only allowed to do whatever I could do with her. If I had to go somewhere, if she couldn't go, then I couldn't go. If I had to do something without her, it was the end of the world, where I was cutting off friends and family. I was neglecting myself. I didn't have any time for myself. And so even though that's not a happy song, there's a positive message hidden in it to get out of it. The next songs we're working on now, they're about self-doubt. They're about self-destruction, where, I am in this amazing position in life. And it's not like I have, all the money in the world. I'm not living in like a mansion or anything like that, but I have a woman who loves me. I have friends who love me. I have a band that I'm so passionate about. I have jobs that I really love and enjoy doing. But there's a part inside of me that says, throw it all away because I don't deserve it, because I didn't earn it. And it's a little subconscious voice. I talked about this in the last podcast, and I'm sure I'll talk about it again because it's a running theme in my life. And for the first time, I'm really fighting against it, and I'm winning. And it's a very strange thing that I have to be conscious about constantly. And so that's why I'm writing about it for the next song or two, is saying, I do deserve to be happy. I do deserve to have progress in my life because of how I'm living my life.
I'm not. I feel like you're in my head, just stealing my own, like saying the things that I don't say a whole lot right now.
Yeah, well, I feel like unfortunately it's a thing a lot of people don't say. I feel like most people don't say that they deserve to be happy, and they deserve to have progress in their life. Glick, you deserve to have progress. Cody, you deserve to be happy. The people watching right now, you do deserve that. If you are waking up each day and putting in the work, and it doesn't have to be moving mountains every day. I try to improve 1% each day. That's it. That's 365% a year. That is a life-changing amount of progress just by improving 1% each day. And that's really all you have to do. And you do deserve to have that progress. And I think we need to remind ourselves of that.
About not quite a year ago, I started a show on here, Men Caring for Men. It's a men's mental health podcast. And I opened up a lot. I opened up a lot about, going through the divorce, a couple failed relationships I had, the constant battles and just being my own worst enemy and the journey to healing that I personally have been on the last 5-6 years and where I am today compared to where I was even just 2 years ago. And the fact that, I made a lot of tough choices, but my circle got real small, but my life got a lot better, and finding that, my fiance, who is just amazing. She's an amazing woman. I mean, she really puts up with a lot, especially with me doing podcasting and whatnot. And she knows it's my dream, and she knows she's very supportive of it. But also, she just lets me be me. I was just talking to a friend the other day about it. Like, I am goofy 24/7. I'm a big dumb animal. Like, I just say and do the most random, absurd shit, and she loves it. Like one of her favorite things to do is a Saturday night after we get done doing our 6-hour show, and I've been drinking, is to sit out there and watch this show called Naked Attraction on HBO.
Okay,
it's a dating show, but they're fully nude.
I've seen that show.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
it's a British show, right?
To watch it. Yeah, it's British. The only reason she likes to watch it is because I'm usually feeling pretty damn good after a show and drinking, and I commentate, and she just wants to hear me do commentary on the show. She's like, I'll walk out there. She said, she's like, get you another beer, get you something to eat. I'm turning on Naked Attraction, and she don't even pay no attention to the show. She just sits there and just listens to me commentate it and put my 2 cents into everything. and I love that, dude.
That's a guilty pleasure of mine, is those awful dating shows. I love them. I don't know why. Like Naked Attraction, Dating Naked, Love Island, Love is Blind. Like, I don't know why. Not The Bachelor. Never got into The Bachelor. Never got into that or anything. But like just the dating shows with the crazy concepts. Love at First Sight, where they get married that day.
That's her.
Love those shows. Don't know why.
She loves all those shows, and I get out there and I'm like, really? Like, she did get me suckered into one. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was that Love at First. They had them in like cubicles or something. And
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. And she got me.
They go on the dates and then they get married like 2 weeks later. Insane.
Yeah, she got me sucked into one season of that because there was a guy on there. Again, I'm a huge sports fan. I love football. It pains me to say this, but I am a diehard Cleveland Browns fan. I've got a jersey. I've got so many jerseys in my closet. My oldest one goes all the way back to 1992. Yeah. So, but there was a guy on there that looked like a nerdy Myles Garrett. And I was like, I like this dude. He's cool. And I liked the girl that he wound up hooking up with, and they did get married. So I got sucked into that season. But the whole time I'm like, why do you, she loves that trashy reality dating shows, man. She lives for it. And I just I can't understand them, man. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't know what the the Naked Attraction is one that we have fun watching together, just because it's just like so right. British people are so weird.
Crazy experience.
But yeah, no, that's that's cool. With you write from personal experiences and whatnot, and
Yeah.
you write from the heart, man. And like I said, it really is. What you were just saying is like, damn. The last couple of years, this is the journey that I've been going through, and reminded myself, like, I've always been like, when things are going good, I'm always cautious, like waiting for that other foot to drop or waiting for that kick in the dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But now I'm not. Now I'm just like, this is what living's like. Like this is I've got a good life right now, man. I mean, might not have all the money and stuff that I used to have. It might not be, but mentally I'm wealthy. Now,
yes,
I still have my struggles from time to time personally, like we all do. Mentally, I'm wealthy and I'm happy, and it's just like I can dig this. I don't think about when's the kick in the dick gonna come. Like when's that day gonna happen or anything like that. So I can definitely get with you on the songs and what you write and stuff like that. That is cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have, and I know you said it's down the road, but do you have plans, or is there any place in particular like you would love to play? It doesn't necessarily have to be like a big monster venue or music festival, but like, is there any place that, back home that you're like, man, I hope we get to play there one day? Is there one of those spots like that?
So the one that's on my bucket list would be the House of Blues. Just opening up for an actual like national act that I really care about. It's one thing when you play the Cambridge Room there, like that's cool, and I shouldn't undermine that as an accomplishment. But there's something about playing main stage on an actual bill instead of just some local showcase that has always been a personal goal of mine. And I've played shows at places bigger than the House of Blues, but there's something regal and professional about the House of Blues that just screams, okay, you guys have done it. Now this is where you move to the next step. So that's my personal goal with this band, is to play House of Blues. And I think once that happens, that'll open up so many doors for us. It's been a dream of mine since I've been about 17. So that to me is the big one.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, definitely the House of Blues. And then I would love to play a show out of state. It could be a little rinky-dink bar. I would just love to properly get out of state and play a show. And then as far as a big one goes, Incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
We will play Incarceration. I'm saying that. I keep saying that. That is a fact. That is something. It is a goal of mine that is so unbelievably clear and focused on in my head. I cannot promise which year it will be, but I can promise that we will play Incarceration.
Well, maybe I'll wait to go until you guys are there that year. I keep saying I want to go. I've been to Louder Than Life. I've been to, it used to be Rock on the Range, and then it switched over to Sonic Temple. I've been to that. I've never been to Incarnation, and I want to. So I'll have to hold out until you guys get there, and then I'll not only come see the shows and all that, but I'll swing into one of the tattoo parlors and be like, I need a Kissing Lilith tattoo.
That would be insane. There is a fan that does have a Kissing Lilith tattoo. Our fan,
Nice.
JoJo Hamilton, she did. I believe she's in Scotland right now. She did get a Kissing Lilith tattoo on her arm. It's pretty amazing seeing our art on someone's body permanently.
That is cool. That is cool. I seen you guys got the merch lined up and going just recently.
Yeah. So it's been up for a while now. We were just dog shit at promoting it. So
there you go. I totally get it. We have like a whole spread shop thing with all this stuff that like Nikki and I, my fiance Nikki and I, we sat down one Sunday and we spent like a whole Sunday just making designs and everything. Like we don't fucking promote it. Now it's like just something that she's wanted to do for a while. So I'm tired of listening to you talk about it. I'm just gonna buy you the equipment. You go on to Amazon, put what you want in the cart, and I'm buying it. We're done talking about it. We're gonna do now. And now I'm promoting her stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, we do have merch already. Yeah, but yeah, we're absolute dog shit about promoting it as well. What up, Chaka?
Chaka.
So, totally understand that. I don't know. For me, I feel weird like asking people to buy our shit. Like who do we think we are?
I mean, if they like the design, they're going to buy it, and at the very least, it helps you monetarily, get one step closer to achieving your dream of doing this full time. I don't think you should ever feel shameful about it. It's a product that you're supplying, and people love merch, dude. I wear merch all the time. I'm wearing it right now. People love how they feel in clothing, and they love how they feel in brands that they believe in. So I never feel 100%. Bad. Yeah, I never feel bad about plugging our stuff.
I can't remember what his name is. There's a guy on YouTube that I see his videos all the time come up. He's usually sitting in his truck. He's got a hat that says GFC on it. And at the end of his video, at the end of every video, he always says, at the end of every video, he says, merch link in bio. And that's it, just super quick, just like that. But I always remember that, merch link in bio. Even something simple like that. Like, you don't need to shove it down people's throats the way that a lot of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram makes it seem like. You just something quick at the end. Like, hey guys, have a great day. Merch link in bio.
Yeah, quick.
I keep putting her to work because, like, I know it's not the greatest. Like, I'm no digital artist or anything like that, but like my Glick's House music, I've made all my logos. The newest one I fucking love. I just did that just playing around on her computer. And I was like,
nice.
I like this. This is going to be my new one. This is what I want on a hoodie. And and as I do it, I'm like, hey, I'm going to put this on a shirt. I'm going to put this on. And I'm just going to start wearing the shit on the shows. And then I'll be like, hey, you like me? You like it? Hit me up. I can get you. You can get one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a couple hats that I've had made. And I wear them. People ask me, like, what's that on your hat? I said, what's that? Oh, it's podcast. That's a hat. Where can I get it at? Here's my cash app. I'll get you one. Give me your address. What's that?
I said you're cutting out a bit. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I got you guys.
Okay, great. You're back.
Yeah, I always feel weird like hitting people up like, hey, go buy our shit,
Don't.
No.
Worst case scenario, they'll say no or they'll ignore you.
Yeah, as long as you're not badgering them. It's. I mean, people want to support you, especially if they have a cool design. Like I said, I like wearing merch every day. So cool design, slap it on a hoodie, and I will buy it.
Yeah, that's me. I'm like, hey, I've got a couple shirts, few shirts from a couple of the artists that I've interviewed and stuff like that. And I love them. I'll throw them on all the time and go out. Mainly just people ask me about it, then I can support the artist that way. Be like, hey, this is who it is. Go check them out. They're
I like wearing them casually, man. Like when we go out and do our own thing, like just put a jean jacket over, someone's brand that you support. And people always ask about it, no matter where you go. They'll be like, that's cool. What the hell is that? And then conversation piece. Every piece of merch that a friend of mine has created, it's always a conversation piece.
Right. No, that's my network hoodie with my little quote unquote catchphrase on the back of it. I had a guy stop me at a gas station. Yeah. What's that say on the back? And I had to turn around so you could see. He said, oh, that's dope. Where'd you get that at? I told him. And we exchanged a little bit of information because he's like, oh, man, I just want the hoodie. I don't even know what it's about. I just want the hoodie. I was like, well, you can get the hoodie, I guess. So, yeah. Yeah, man. There's so much I wanted to ask you guys, and I don't even remember half of it, to be honest with you.
So that just means that we got to come back for another episode.
Hey, man, you name the time and place. Let's do it. Yeah. I always tell artists, especially if we're having a good time and we're having fun, we do a couple shows during the week where we have the open door. Saturday nights are our big one, man. This open panel, anybody, you guys are always welcome, man. You guys are cool as shit. I knew you guys were going to be fun. I knew you guys were going to be cool. Just talking to you. Sometimes it's hard to get to judge somebody from text. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some people are just like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun. I was excited for multiple reasons for tonight. One, I could tell just from your videos and from chatting with you guys. I was like, yeah, these guys are fun as hell. But again, you guys are the first people that I've got to, which is weird to me, that I've interviewed from Ohio. because I hit up like Ohio pages all the time for musicians and reach out for guests and get no love. And it's like, damn, man, like I'm like right here. I'm at most 2 hours. I'm right smack in the middle of the damn state. I'm 2 hours at most from anywhere. Like, you know, I could definitely come and see you guys. Plus, being in Columbus, we've got so many music venues, and even in my little town, there's a couple cool places, and actually one that I need to respond to about possibly bringing guests to. But there's a couple really cool venues here, like, you know, that would get new ears and eyes on musicians. But it's just like, you guys give me no love in Ohio. Nashville fucking loves me. I'm just 8 hours away.
Well, we're happy.
So I was definitely excited to have
you reaching out.
Yeah, man. Is there anything? You know, I always want to give you guys a few minutes to throw, you know, anything you want to promote, anything you got coming up. I got your guys' Soch down there. Also, I understand sometimes people still find it very hard. Like we said earlier, you don't want to go look and search. Well, I also make life easier for you guys as well. If you're following us on social media at the Nonsensical Network, I tag every guest in all of our posts. So if you go to the post that see these two lovely faces on it, then you just click their fucking link right there, because I already tagged them in it. So don't tell me you can't find them. But is there anything you guys want to promote? Anything you guys got coming up? Any plans or anything like that you want to tell people? And I guess you can let them know where to find you as well.
Oh my God! I mean, now that Cody is 100% mine, we're really hitting the ground running. We got the next studio session for like April 9th. Yeah, April 9th, 10th, 11th. So we're already working on the next song. What?
February.
What did I say?
You said April.
Whoops. February. Even sooner.
Yeah, February is right around the corner.
We've got a lot. We've got a lot going on. This Sunday we have a recording session, and I'm not giving away details yet because it's extremely exciting who we're working with. I don't want to jinx it. That's how excited I am. So once we get his permission to talk about it, we can talk about who we're working with. And is an actual childhood hero of mine.
I think that's the most emotion you've showed during this entire podcast.
I get very excited. I get very excited about my childhood heroes, man.
That is awesome.
Yeah, most of the time, if it's music related, I like to kind of get to the point. But this is something that I've wanted since I was a teenager, man. The guy that we're working with, he's just the coolest motherfucker on the planet. He really is. And
hell yeah.
I'll ask him on Sunday if we can start plugging him in on stuff, because it's not fair without me asking him. But we're going to the studio with a legend, and we're going to start getting our workflow down so we can start cranking music out.
Yeah, cranking out music. We're going to be able to use he's got a little podcast room in there. Really awesome setup where we'll be able to shoot some new types of content. We got photo shoots coming up. Like we just have, I mean, we got a whole calendar of shit coming up. We are so busy.
We are so stupidly busy up until the summer. And then as soon as like March hits, I know our summer is going to be packed, but we have on our calendar, I think it is something almost every single day up until April that we have going on. I mean, it is the busiest I've ever been in music. And every single day that we have on the calendar is absolutely going to be productive. And it's only going to grow the brand. It's only going to, get us closer to our goal. And we're going to be able to work with some awesome people and produce some awesome music.
Yep. And that might mean writing and recording. That might mean just brainstorming designs for t-shirts. That might mean just posting content or just brainstorming what types of content to make. But every day from now on, there will be something that we do to progress. We're going to find that 1% to improve.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. And being busy is good. When you look at the calendar and realize that you have something going on every day or almost every day, that's fucking awesome. Man,
yeah.
That's so cool. Definitely I'm looking forward to the new song. like I said, I'm a brand new fan. I'm just getting on board for the ride, and I'm excited for it. Definitely digging the first 2 songs. Looking forward to seeing what you guys got coming up. Definitely looking forward to down the road being able to come and catch you guys at a show. See you guys perform live. I thought it was really cool the other day. You did a little behind the scenes with your vocals on Instagram, Instagram Live. That was pretty cool. I just kind of threw it on. I had my earbuds in anyways, and I was just sitting there listening for a while.
Yeah. We want to do more live streams and more behind the scenes stuff too, especially when we're working on music. Just to kind of get people involved, get their feedback immediately, and so they can also see the process. That this doesn't just happen overnight. No. It's not like we just get an idea. We're not superhuman geniuses. We're like, oh, I know what we're doing for the next song. It's not Phineas and Ferb. We're just like, I know what we're gonna do today.
It's very close to Phineas and Ferb.
Sometimes. It's usually, I know what we might do. And then
that's a better way to
then we start fleshing it out.
Yeah, but Sunday, I'm hoping we can live stream Sunday because, oh God, that is going to be so much fun.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
You definitely got my curiosity, man. You definitely piqued my curiosity. We got a huge announcement that we can't make, but it's huge.
No,
it's all that matters.
We get permission. We can't. But it's exciting. And you're gonna, as soon as you find out who it is, you're gonna sit there and shit bricks. I kid you not. You're gonna be like, "Fuck these guys. This is stupid."
Fuck these guys. What a bunch of pricks.
No, I'm kidding. But it's very exciting.
No,
that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely. Like I said, you've piqued my curiosity. Now I'm going to be anxiously anticipating and waiting to see who it is that you're working with.
Well, we'll start streaming around 4 p.m. on Sunday because, Gavin, that's when you get to the studio, right? I'll be there from 2 to 6. Gavin's going to be there 4 to 6, and then we're going to see their band perform at the Foundry on Sunday.
Hell yeah. Nice. That's fucking cool. Hell yeah, man. Definitely be looking forward to that. Sundays are my quote-unquote, I say that they're my day of rest, but then I still wind up doing behind-the-scenes shit and working on stuff, Like I don't typically respond to people on Sundays, but I might be doing social media stuff, but I don't necessarily respond to people on Sundays. But no, that's cool, man. I do want to say, I appreciate the hell of you guys coming up. Welcome back anytime. Gavin, I know you said that Natalie was a musician as well.
Yeah. Her name for music is Madam Eris, and then she's working on getting her first single out right now.
Well, Natalie, if you got your ears on, I'm always looking for guests. I'm just saying.
She's a riot. If you think that I've got high energy, she makes me look like Cody.
She has more energy than I know what to do with, in the best kind of way. I love that.
Nice.
That woman is 300 miles an hour.
Oh, I love that pretty little woman so much.
Love it.
Ring on that finger. I put a ring on that finger and babies in that belly and a roof over that head. Ooh.
Lock her down. Make sure she can't leave.
Screaming on the inside for you, Gavin. I really am.
No, that's awesome. No, seriously. I'll definitely have to check her out, and I'm always looking for new guests. All the time out there trying to find new people to come up. So you guys don't be shy. If you know somebody out there, just hey, Glick, check these guys out. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Or just or send them my way. But I do appreciate you guys coming up here, man. And you're welcome back anytime. Don't be shy. If you guys got new stuff coming up, hit me up. We'll get it up on our social as well. Invite us to collaborate with you. Well, 100. I tell everybody, not everybody does it. But anything we can do to help promote you guys, that's why I do this show, man.
This is art, and we're here to work, and you're on the team now, so we'll get stuff done.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. Welcome to the Nonsensical family. A good friend of mine, the guy that I went out to see this weekend, James Luker, he's yelling at me constantly to do a reaction channel. I'm like, because I don't have enough shit on my plate. Let me just start doing reaction videos. But I'm serious. I did one to his debut album, and I'm seriously contemplating trying to find the time to where I can sit down and do reactions to new music that's dropped by. And again, it's dedicated to you guys, the guests of this show. This show is all about you guys. So anything I can do in the future, like I said, don't be shy, don't be strangers. We are 100% here to do what we can to support you guys and continue to support you guys. I'm a fan of the music, so I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm right up there with you guys. Probably not as excited as you guys, but still, I have a high level of excitement because
this is the most Ohio closing of a podcast ever.
Yeah, Midwest. Welcome to the Midwest. We're Midwesterns.
Yeah, you can tell.
No, but yeah,
love you to death, seriously.
No, you guys are awesome, man. Well, again, welcome to the family. Let us know whatever we can do. I do, however, I always like to ask my guest if there's just like a words of wisdom or something, a quote or something that really resonates for them. And I know we gotta bring Cody in because he's just this giant ball of energy that's just been exploding all over the place tonight. I feel like blink twice.
I am the unhinged wild card when we're not on podcast, though. I assure you.
I feel like he might.
Cody,
I feel like Gavin, you might really have.
I promise you. In interviews, I don't have much to say unless there's a question. But in real life, I'll be the one that's climbing the house. Like, where'd he go? I'm like, I'm up here.
Yeah. Nice.
Cody,
so yeah, like just what you got for us, Cody?
Do it. I mean that's honestly it. 100%. No, I'm serious. The Shia LaBeouf quote is the greatest quote of all time because it's like he's right. Just do it. Shut the fuck up and just do it. Like there's no excuse to not do anything that you want. And if there is an excuse, shut the fuck up and then find a way around it. Like be a problem solver, do something about it, make music, make art. I don't care. I don't have time to tell you what to do. Well,
100%. I know
that sounds really cold and callous when I say it out loud, but ultimately, just shut up and do it.
Oh yeah, the guys joke with me and get on me because I have one of my famous quotes when somebody's talking about doing something. I'm like, don't talk about it, fucking be about it, bitch.
Right.
Like really, Glick, way to be real sensitive, man. I'm like, what? I'm just saying, man. Like,
no,
sitting here talking about it.
You're right, though. I think talk is cheap. Let's make something happen.
Yeah.
So I like Gavin do all the talking while he's talking. Like Gavin, an album's done.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, so did you talk to all those people? Did you finish all those errands?
Yeah.
And then he'll come and all the work's done. He just has to show up. I like doing behind the scenes stuff, man. Let's make something happen. I like being productive. I'm weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said so much. For my quotes and deep thoughts, I will send us off with something very, very personal and very, very true that hits home. To quote the famous poet Bo Burnham, when life gives you lemons, you probably just found lemons.
You may never lie on them.
Yeah, perfectly put.
Yeah.
That is life. Well, gentlemen, I will let you jump off here. I'm actually going to play one more. I'm going to play one more song here. Well, I've only got one other option.
Yeah.
You guys aren't working. I need you guys to get in the studio. Chop.
All right.
Just give us a couple more weeks, and there's just going to be song after song after song.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're cooking. We're cooking with more oil than Diddy. All right.
Yeah, whoa,
I'm leaving this podcast.
Easy. Some phrases can get you in trouble.
Yeah, that's one of the phrases that'll get you in trouble.
Don't associate yourself with Diddy in any way, shape, or form. No, definitely looking forward. Hey, we're gonna get you guys in the rotation on all the shows here, man. Obviously, Saturday night we'll be rolling in. I'm looking forward to having new music. I know the guys. They always get excited when I utter the phrase, I have new music. Actually, I'll have new music tomorrow night because we'll be doing our What the Fuck News show. And we'll play one of your guys' songs tomorrow night. But every time I say I have new music, the guys' ears perk up and their eyes get big. And they're just like, oh, Lord. Because they never know what I'm bringing to the table at the end of the day. Because they're just like, what did this asshole find now? So, but they have no control. But no, definitely. Again, thank you guys so much for coming on here. Definitely appreciated it. Don't be strangers.
No.
And we're probably cutting out again because that's been my life tonight.
No, you good, man. Yeah, no, thanks again for having us. It really was an amazing time. And anybody who's watching, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. We're always happy to make connections, talk to new people, meet fans. Like, thank you all so much for your consistent, constant love and support. It really does mean the world to us. And it is one of the biggest reasons why we do what we do.
Absolutely. Guys, check them out. Follow them everywhere. Kissing Lilith. If you have a hard time finding it, if you can't type, you don't know how to spell, just go to our pages. And they're tagged in all the posts. It don't get no easier. You have no excuses, people. And if you don't, you might wake up to Gavin climbing across your ceiling one night. So
He's never lying.
Just set your house on fire. But no, thanks a lot again, guys. I'll let you drop down. I got to do my whole closing spiel bullshit that nobody wants to hear, but it's the facts of life.
Peace out, man.
Thank
you, Glick.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Good luck. Best of luck. I'm gonna play more than worth it. We've been talking about it all night, so we're gonna finally play it. Appreciate the shit out of you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Nobody ever taught me how to get big when life's not fair. All the ways you tore me down, brought me to the ground, made me feel worthless. Well, I hate to proceed, but it's miles on a single chick can tell me what my worth is. Tell me that I'm too young, too long, too much, but I'm still not good enough. Tell me that you should give up, cause I'm too inexperienced, I'm never gonna blow up. Tell me that you knew that I was just another pawn in your waiting, cause I'm gonna sad to see that every part of me never thought you'd be like every other asshole. I want you to stand up, I want you to shout, screaming it back at me.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Dude, so angry was such a positive. Just I love it. Just in your face. Anyways, just want to say real quick, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Shout out to Kissing Lilith. Obviously, these guys are awesome. We'll probably see them around the network a little more. And we might see them a couple times around the ways. We'll definitely hang out with you guys again. Speaking of the network, make sure you guys tune in and check out the rest of the shows. We got double headers on Monday with Speedway Stories and Cold-Blooded Conversations, 6 p.m. Our boy Wally talking all things motorsports and reptiles. I don't know how they go together, but he makes it work. He's new to the podcasting world. He's new to the streaming world, but he's having a good time doing it. And right after Wally on Mondays is Men Caring for Men. It's your men's mental health podcast. All things revolving around men's mental health and day-to-day life, struggles and all that stuff. Tuesdays is this show right here, Glick's House of Music, and I'm hanging out with kick-ass artists like these guys tonight. Next week, tune in next week. I have Lift the Curse joining me, Texas rock duo. So looking forward to that. They're a pretty kick-ass band. Wednesdays is What the Fuck News. If it's in the news and it makes us say what the fuck, we're going to talk about it and make fun of stupid people because that's what we do. Thursdays is Jeff's Garage. If you're into doing hobby shit, well, you're probably going to like Jeff's Garage because that's all they do is hobby shit. I don't know. Jeff's like trying to keep track of a chihuahua. You never know what's going on in his world or in his head at the end of the day. Friday nights is Nonsense and Chill. Blaze and Jeff are hanging out. They're watching movies. They're putting them up on the screen. You guys can get in the chatters box and watch movies with them and add your 2 cents. Saturdays is the main event. It is Nonsensical Nonsense. It is the flagship show here on the network. It's what started it all. We kicked the doors down for 6 fucking hours. And dropped the link. We call it the Open Door Challenge. We dropped the link in the chat, and whatever happens, happens. Because it's all unscripted and unfiltered. We're just having fun, kicking ass. I'm gonna get my ass kicked for this because I always forget. Sorry, Cash. Saturdays at noon. Every other Saturday at noon, which will happen this Saturday, is Cash's Corner. That's my son and I's show. He's the boss. He's the host, and we're talking wrestling, everything WWE related. So if you're into wrestling, come in and hang out. Cash and I'll be there. We usually open it up. We do an open panel from time to time and invite listeners to come up and talk a little wrestling with us. And then we do Nonsensical Nonsense Saturday night. And then we round up the week on Sundays with Unnecessary Roughness. It was our football show, but now we're moving into uncharted territory. It is going to be a full-fledged sports show, and that is me, Big Rick, and former guest of this show right here, one and only Derek Wayne Douglas, hanging out talking sports and shit. We're still talking football. We got the playoffs and Super Bowl and all that around the corner. So check out all the shows Monday through Sunday on the Nonsensical Network. Simply go to bio.link/Nonsensical Network. All of our links are there for all the socials, including the link to Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. You can get all your nonsensical swag there, or if you just want something personalized, you want your own shit, just hit up Nikki. She's on Facebook and Instagram, Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner, and let her know what you want, and she'll get you taken care of. And if you're close by, we'll hand deliver it. If it needs to be shipped, I guess I got to go to the post office. Always my favorite place. And with that being said, be good. We'll be good at it, baby. Appreciate y'all listening. Gavin, if you don't mind just sticking around for a minute, I want to get your fiance's information because I would like to check out her music and hit her up. There's like a 1-minute little outro song. Then we'll be backstage.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Nonsensical network, different flavor every day. Movie talks, new flicks hitting the display. Microphone magic, musicians spill the praise. From reptiles to motorsports, burning rubber craze. Football crashes, touchdowns, epic plays. News spinning, catching on the latest phase. Gleaming cars, engines roaring up the pace. Street tales, urban stories we embrace. Tune in, every week diverse. Groove to the beats, let the rhythm immerse. Lyrics flowing, ciphers full of verse. Nonsensical network, feel the universe. Interviews buzzing, stars in the circuit, worlds of tapestry, pieces we interpret. Hip-hop to rap, the flow never stagnant. Reptilian tales, nature's arrangement. Cars with muscle, engines with might. Motorsports roaring, speed in the night. Discussions heated, always a delight. Network of nonsense, but the vibe's just right. Tune in, wait for that beat. Flow so seamless, feeling so sweet. Urban grooves,